Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. However you happen to be watching this, I want to welcome you to the Gaming Circle podcast. The podcast where this week we're delving into the future, trying to see what's out there, see what's exciting, but we'll get to that a little bit later. And of course, on this podcasting journey, as I do every Saturday morning, I am here joined by my man, my brother from another mother, the man who is out there defending defunct consoles left and right. Mr. Everborn
We're
Sega.
not gonna do no.
What's going on, brother man?
We're not gonna do no Dreamcast slander today, sir. But
hey, I don't consider it slanderous. It is awesome. Continue. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Good.
Give me that Peter Moore stuff. Go ahead.
Let me. I'll come to that. I'll come to the fact that Peter Moore
hit me with the Peter Moore smoke. Go ahead.
One of the greatest heads of Xbox in its history, maybe right behind Phil, but that's neither here nor there. Now, let me ask you a question. Are we going to talk about what we're playing? Are we going to talk about...
Oh, we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Okay, before we get there, though, why are we using the old logo? What happened?
There's still some kinks to be worked out, brother man. There's still kinks to be worked out.
I was expecting to see it today.
Oh, you expected? No, I'm still kind of feeling it out. And actually, it's actually a good segue into our guest, who actually has been, more than helpful in getting all of our shine proper and all that. And he looked at it and went, you know what? Let's take another stab at it. And the man was correct. And which man do I mean? I mean the Viking himself, Mr. Wandering Dutch. Welcome back, good sir.
Welcome.
How you doing?
Welcome. Great to be here. It's nice to see the intro with me being able to watch it from this end of the side, and
it's a beautiful thing, bro.
I do want to point out that since you did that intro for Mr. K. Asante, his channel has grown a little bit faster than mine. There's about 30 more subs, 35, 40 more subs than mine, and we were like neck and neck. So I blame you.
So is this you asking for a better logo? Is that what's going on? A better intro?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying. You had some performance enhancements, is what I'm saying.
You see. Even though one could argue it's consistency. Okay, I'm sorry. I got a little something there. All right. Well, we'll keep it moving real quick. So usually we start this show with what we've been playing. And there's no doubt about it. You see what I've been playing. I was saying this to Dutch. I may never play this game again because I had the best 3-4 hours of my life yesterday. Whether I was winning, whether I was losing, my team, that is, I was always in the top 2. I was always there getting it done.
Exactly,
so I'm just like,
and I don't know what it was.
Oh, it's amazing. I think it may have been I tweaked a few of my settings, like my controller settings, made my sensitivity a little different. I don't know if that's what it was.
Are you doing
but I was in there,
PC
man.
Cheating?
Bro, I was on Xbox. Shut your mouth. I was on Xbox, Series X. Shut your mouth with the PC cheating.
That's all I'm saying.
And actually, I think I came across some PC cheating a little bit. Shields that seem to last a little longer than they should.
Yeah.
Stuff
we
like
had
that.
Yesterday as well. Yeah.
Where you're just like unloading into him, and he's just sitting there like, wow, and then one shot and you're gone. I got a little bit of that, but still, I somehow ended up, doing rather well. So you'll see my wonderful 3 hours or so of footage throughout this whole situation. But let's get started. Let's start with the Dutch. I know you want to talk about some Halo. We'll save that one towards the end. But besides Halo, what have you been playing this week, sir?
Besides Halo,
Have you gone back to Forza Horizon at all?
I have.
I know you played the hell out of that thing.
Yeah, I've probably got almost 6 days worth of gameplay in that already. I'm already beyond Prestige. I'm nearly Prestige 2 on that. I've got all the houses. I've got the vast majority of the cars. So yeah, I'm fully through that at the moment, which is why I've ended up digging deep into Halo to have a nice palate cleanser from racing around. But yeah, both of those games are absolutely magnificent, and they've both been what I've been playing religiously. I'm still thinking of diving into and going through the entire Master Chief Collection again from the start.
Ooh, bro, don't do the one campaign. Go through the playlist. That whole playlist, it's so awesome. I've been playing that for months. It's so good. I'm sorry, Everborn, you were saying?
No. I was saying, speaking of that, because in preparation for Infinite, I just played this week the
By the way, you see
Halo
me triple
5.
killing people, right? And these aren't bots. I'm just saying, triple kills, not bots. I'm sorry. Continue.
I don't know. Maybe the algorithm had to pair you with less.
I had to double check. So look, 4 kills. You see, I had to double check and just make sure I wasn't playing against bots because I was killing fools left. It was ridiculous. I don't know what happened, but I'm sorry.
You got paired up with 7-year-olds on the matchmaking
for 3 hours.
Hey man, that's how they make you feel powerful and keep you playing. That's all I'm saying.
True. Hey, I said
algorithm.
Honestly, I had to check and make sure I wasn't playing against bots. But continue. Yeah, you were saying.
In preparation for Halo Infinite, just because I wanted to be remember, because I hadn't played Guardians since 2015. And I've played it here and there, like a level, but I ran through the whole campaign this week.
How was that? I saw you playing.
Yeah, listen, I feel like there's this universally accepted universally accepted opinion that is not a fact or the actual truth that game is terrible.
Yep.
And it wasn't. In terms of production value, I don't know who will argue the multiplayer wasn't good in that game. And I just feel like maybe people should put a little bit more respect on 343's name. Right,
I've been screaming that for a long time. Indeed, continue.
Now, the story of the campaign was not as good as 4, but it was a serviceable campaign. It was fun. I didn't like how you had to fight the warden so many times. That was kind of stupid. But it deserved every point of that 84 Metacritic that it got. And people, I don't know if it's because Halo has to play by a different set of rules than everyone else. But anyone else that put out that game, it would have been praised as something that we should all remember in the annals of gaming history. And it's weird to me how people talk about it. And people just talk about 343 like they're novices.
Yep.
It's really strange to me. Yep. So I finished the campaign, and again, I will stick by this. This is what I've always said. If they had followed up Guardians with something, it didn't have to be Halo 6, it didn't have to be Infinite, but something to tell the next chapter of that story, or tell it from a different perspective in 2017, I do not think the mindshare around Halo would be what it is today, because it feels like they have to prove themselves like they're starting from scratch right now, and that's unfortunate. And
Lucius Augustus is absolutely right here. And by the way, welcome to all of you fine gentlemen and folks who happen to join us. Halo unfortunately has insane expectations. Insane, unrealistic.
Yeah, but it's unlike any other game. There's no other game that has this
that has that high expectations.
And that doesn't mean that there's they're beyond reproach and there's nothing they have to do and people should shut up. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying Halo plays by a different set of rules than
any other game
or any other, not almost any other game, any other game. There's no game that has to play by the same rules. And I see you, Joanna Dark. I see you. UI Tony is in the building.
I appreciate you guys joining. Oh, and Harmonica wanted me to say, ask me how XO1 is. If you haven't played XO1, it is the perfect palate cleanser game. I should have more footage for it next week. It is so fun. It's just atmosphere and a weird saucer plane that you're out there, in the earth. You're trying. There is objectives and things, but it is just Zen. The game. It's very cool. It's on Game Pass. If you haven't tried it out, it's very easy to download. Small game, indie developer. Support them devs. Try it out. It's not like the game of the week that everybody's playing, but it's a great palate cleanser, and I think I'll be playing it for quite some time. I'm sorry. Continue. You were saying.
Yeah, and so I mean, I just find it funny, but the game, graphically at its time, to think that came out in 2015 is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And how do you guys feel? Infinite's great. Can't wait to get into Infinite. But the design, the Spartan armor design
You mean
Actually Spartan.
the Dusty Samurai crew?
No. I'm saying for Guardians, do you feel like the armor design is a step back because they wanted to make it?
I actually thought it was great. I thought it, because in the lore of it, you have your Spartan, your Spartan 2s, you have all the various Spartans, and as they went along, they went from being like robotic creatures to actual humans, right? So during Locke's time, they're actually just suits that you can take off and this and that. Obviously, Chief can do the same, but his suit wasn't built that way. It had different. It was a different time when his came to be. So there was a lot more sacrifice that was taken to get him in that armor, right? So, like when I saw that the what do you call it? Team Osiris had totally different chromed out armor. They could take it off as if they were wearing suits, and you have Nathan Fillion's hair wafting in the breeze when he takes it off. I thought that was cool, man. I thought it was real cool. I actually missed Team Osiris. I hope they come back with all of that.
Yeah, I want more of that, and I really hope Halsey gets her comeuppance after Chief deals
she deserves
with all of this. They would take the other arm. But the other thing I've been playing is Streets of Rage 4 because I've been on my nostalgia kick lately, and I'm still stuck on the final stage. I don't think you can do it by yourself. It's
I told you, bro. I told you. See, no, okay. So we had this conversation, and this is background with me and Everborn. This is the man as Everborn. All right. We had this conversation. He's like, "Yo, I'm at the last level. This is difficult. You need to help me, bro. You need to help me." You got slow mo. Welcome, sir. Welcome. So he's like, "Yo, you need to help me." I'm like, "All right, cool. Let me know. It's got good multiplayer. We'll do it, right?" And while we were having this conversation, I happened to drop the fact that I've beaten the game on Switch because that's where I played it first. And he goes, "Oh, you beat that level?"
Easy.
He goes, you beat that level? You beat it on normal? I'm like, yeah, what's the problem? He goes, nah, no, never mind. I played myself. I'm like, what's your problem? He goes, that's game of pride, bro. That's game of pride.
Slow-mo's pointing out that I still haven't been in Infinite yet. I've been playing some bot matches here and there. I'm just trying to get ready for the main day.
You need to step your game up.
Every Halo game since Combat Evolved, I have always
played the campaign first.
And then the multiplayer. This is just a little bonus that I will dabble in, but I'm not really going to get into it until I finish that campaign. That's just how I do it.
the same way.
And you can't get mad at me because some people, the only way they play Halo is co-op, and they're going to wait.
Sure.
So don't get mad at me because I'm waiting for the campaign.
Bro. I get you. And I don't disagree with you in any way, shape, or form. I will just say the run that I had yesterday, I can't wait to get back in there, bro. Oh, my goodness. It was so much fun. Man, it made me miss, like, a team. Because, like, when you're on the top of the leaderboard every time and you're still losing as a team, you're just like, I put on my I put my headset on. I was like, okay, this is called oddball. You need to protect the dude with the ball. Stop running around fighting. Like, people were just not following the rules.
We had exactly the same thing yesterday when I was doing Fatal Enigma, and we were in this game, just two of us, and these two guys were just running the opposite side of the map. And when the oddball was on the floor, they'd run past the oddball. I'd be like, "What are you doing? Pick it up!"
Every time someone punts out Halo.
Listen.
He needs to pull out his creds. He needs to pull it out real quick.
Well, listen. You're lucky I'm not talking about Sonic and Sega. So that's it. Like, pick your poison.
I saw you playing Sonic Colors yesterday, sir. Even after you've bashed it left and right, I saw you.
No, I needed to
playing
make sure.
Sonic Colors.
I needed to make sure it was still terrible, and it is because they
updated it between the last time you played it,
right? No, I finished Sonic Generations. I felt like maybe I just wasn't in a Sonic mode when I was playing Colors Ultimate. But no, it's just bad.
It's still trash. It's still absolutely trash.
Big trash.
Understood. So, let's get into Halo talk proper, because that will lead us probably into one of the initial topics that I wanted to discuss before we get into the big topic of the day. I wanted to bring up Mr. Dutch's video, the excellent video that he made, and I won't like play it live here because it'll become messy, but I'll put it in the chat, and I will ask that anybody that has a chance to please go watch it, watch the video. The man puts out some very interesting points that I think people should pay attention to. And the title of it is The Issue with Battle Pass, Halo Infinite.
I need you guys to explain this to me because, as Slow-Mo pointed out, I have not really been playing this, so I don't know what the issue is.
So, Dutch, please, how about you give us a nice synopsis of what's going down, and I'll add some color as necessary. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there's two sides to it, two primary sides, and both of them are very valid. And this is the issue that we have in general with Battle Pass, because both sides of the coin are extremely valid points. First of all, the die-hard Halo fans, and completely agree with their points again, the Battle Pass itself is centered around challenges. Challenges that are specific to certain things. For instance, if you pick up a shotgun, then you have to kill 15 people with a shotgun. If you pick up obviously, if you might get a pistol one, or you might get one that is centered around repulsoring someone off a cliff. But the Battle Pass itself and its progression is centered around challenges only, not centered around anything other than that. Capri Sun.
See this, Slow-Mo? This for
Mario Capri Sun.
His Nintendo Capri Sun. Like, what?
No, Slow-Mo said that his 11-year-old and Pixelbit G's 6-year-old can carry me in Halo, and then we'll get juice boxes when we're done. And I'm saying I beat you guys to the punch.
You already got the juice boxes?
Yes.
Amazing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dutch.
Yeah, so the Battle Pass itself is centered around challenges. Now, the issue we've got at the moment is because there is 0 playlists. So you can go into big team battle, or you can go into ranked. At the minute, we've got Fiesta, but that'll disappear in a couple of days because obviously the event will be over for a few weeks. And that's pretty much it. Oh, yeah, and you've got quick play matches. But essentially, if you have a challenge that is centered around simply killing people and not doing objectives, if you're into an objective-based game, then nobody's doing the objective in the first place because everyone's too focused on the challenges to be able to level up.
Yep.
That in itself is an issue.
You know what?
You can go into go on.
Go ahead. No, please finish.
You can go into a big team battle with a full team of 12, and 6 of them will be doing challenges and be miles away from doing the objective. You might have capture the flag, and no one will be doing anything to do with capture the flag. You might be doing seeds, and people be, for instance, if they need commando kills, they'll have to wait. And so a lot of the weapons aren't standard, so you have to wait for them to generate on the map, and they're never in the same place. And they might not generate at all. So people will be going to wait for this gun to generate to be able to get kills. And then if they die and lose the gun, then they're going to have to wait again to go and get the gun. So they're not actually proactively.
So it incentivizes them not to play the game properly, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
See, so and I will go one step further with you and say, even before the challenges, even if there are no challenges at all, if there's nothing, it's just, capture the flag or whatever the game is. People are just so focused on killing you, killing him. No one ever follows any objectives.
Yep.
And the XP dole out does not penalize them for that.
No.
That's a problem, right? Meaning,
the issue the main issue we've got, and the main issue we need for Halo Infinite is that the progression needs tied to the game modes. So if you're playing a Slayer match, then have it about kills, have it about kill death.
Exactly.
Have it about things like that. If you're playing,
because I'll run in there, be capturing points left and right, and I'll get no points for it because everybody's just running around killing each other. Then why are you even playing capture the flag? Why not just everything be Slayer?
If you're playing, but this is where they need to bring in the playlists. And they haven't got them yet, but no doubt they will bring them in. But even when they do bring in playlists, I can guarantee you, challenge-based progression isn't changed from what it is now. No one will be in anything other than Slayer. Because that's all that they seem to want to play. There's no benefit to the objective-based gameplay. You don't get, you need the XP to go depending on what kind of game you're playing. So if it's capture the flag, then you get XP boosts for
capturing the flags.
That's right. Exactly, having the flag the most, or taking back your flag, returning the flag, stealing the flag.
So is there a world where they could sort of walk the tightrope of having game game mode based progression as well as some of these challenges?
That's what they need to
of
do.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's not too difficult actually, because you can just make it like if you're in a situation where there are challenges to be met, right? Kill people with a battle rifle, give them extra points for killing people with a battle rifle, but you're there capturing the flag. So make capturing the flag's points also valuable. So you're not just there killing people left and right for no reason because that's how you accrue points quickly. No, make it specifically based on the objective and also add the challenge to it. But it just seems like they're doling out points for how many people you can kill. So it breaks every game mode. Even before any of these challenges show up, even before there are any of these events, just the idea of, hey, everything is Slayer. And that won't promote good diversity in the game modes. You know what I'm saying? It'll just everything turns into a Slayer. Somebody's on the corner here holding something while nobody's paying attention. Yeah, you're saying.
Okay, and at the risk of owning the label Botmaster, would it make sense to have these sort of objective based progression relegated to the bot matches, right? So if you have to get a kill with a certain kind of weapon or try a certain kind of thing, and you have to do it against Spartan
Remember,
bots,
this is free to play. They don't want you to be able to get it quickly. If you did that in bot modes, you would have a quicker ability to turn it around faster, and they want you to still grind a little.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, give people the progression that because you can't have this game that has everyone annoyed by it and then say you want them to continue playing, because they won't, right?
So let's be clear here, though. Based on what you're just saying, let's be clear here, because Dutch's video, as great, and it was a great video, it also points out the other side of the coin. Halo has always been about skill and fun. Shut the hell up, you sad COD influenced plebes who have to have progression on everything. We used to enjoy the hell out of Halo before any of this crap was part of the equation.
Yeah, completely right, mate. Also, the main thing for the opposite side of the coin that I've pointed out as well, and a lot of people will probably notice, but again, it's like I say, both sides are valid, but the other main thing is the progression it's nothing. It's literal meaningless progression.
Yeah, all it is
like it is
shiny your suit.
Free to play. It is. It
shiny your suit. That's it.
Yeah, unless you're ranked in a ranked 4v4, in which case the purpose of progression is to fight off against even matched opponents that are on your play level. So if you're Onyx level on Halo Infinite in 4v4,
can't have fun with Barbie without dress up. You know how they do. Exactly. We were rocking Halo for years without any of those progressions. I'm sorry, Dutch. Go ahead.
If you're ranked 4v4 with Onyx, Onyx level 1, then that means you'll go against people that are Onyx level in 4v4 on the ranked system, and that's where the rank makes sense, because it's going.
That's the only time it matters.
Whereas ranking up in the regular free-to-play modes, the only benefit is to look shiny.
Yeah, that's all it's for.
Literal, the actual progression is false. It's false progression. It's the illusion of progression. You're not progressing anything.
In an FPS where you actually you only don't see your character's hands.
Yeah, and you only see yourself when you're like this at the beginning or the end. That's it.
For instance, if with the likes of Call of Duty, etc., the ranked and the progression in Call of Duty, you unlock other weapons the more you progress. So you're unlocking weapons that are so
there's a reason for wanting to unlock. That's right.
To level
That's
up
right.
and
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah.
In this, the main reason I've kept it to this is so that the only thing progression gets is the colors, the shiny armor, make you look pretty. That's it.
Which you can also buy, And speaking a little bit on that shiny armor and this and that, even in that world, let's be real, okay? 343 pulled a little bit of a fast one on that one. Let's keep it a buck. Yes, you'll get the armor, and I am literally one challenge away from getting that armor. But let's be real with what you're getting, okay? Because you can tell those who bought their armor versus those who actually got that armor righteous, and the dusty samurai Spartan crew is in full effect. If somebody earned it because he's dusty as hell. He looks like he's ancient. He's been rolling around in the mud for a while and it got all dusty. Those are the ones who've earned it.
Yeah,
you know,
see,
the
here's the
ashy
thing.
Spartans.
I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna buy it. I'm not doing all that
Yeah,
challenge.
and there are a bunch of people who just buy it and they look like Power Rangers with their like multicoloredness weird, you know. But it is what it is. So it makes like, see, there you go. Look at this dude, total Power Ranger. Like, get out of here with all that. So it makes all the fight and the shoes, the Aladdin shoes. Oh, that's my favorite.
I do want that sword though, even though you can't use
You
it. You
never get to use it. Like, what is the point? But like, that's what makes all of this, like, it's annoying, but it does not in any shape or form. People are uninstalling it. I'm like, get the hell out of here. You were never a Halo player in the beginning to begin with, because it's not like any of those progression systems do anything for you.
But this is why,
besides look pretty.
But if
it's
they
the
don't
illusion
do
of progression.
anything, if they don't do anything, then just let people get the progression for performing well in multiplayer. Like,
yeah,
and
they definitely need to tune them out, that progression system. Basically, the way we have said, they need to make the progression system matter to the game, even if it's going to be just for cosmetic. That's fine. Make those progression systems matter to the game mode you're playing, in addition to whatever challenges is of the day or the event or whatever.
I still think.
Let's face it, some of the challenges as well aren't a cakewalk. Like, some of them are nails, and some of the weapons that they ask you to do, those progression things,
they don't drop easily.
But let me ask you a question, right? This just comes back to my my point about the bots and in training mode. Wouldn't that make training mode or more of a viable game mode if you put the challenges there, and that way you don't have people straying from the objective because they're trying to do a
but then you'd
challenge.
have to limit the training mode a bit. Like right now, you at any moment you can pause, you can add this, you can take that away, whatever. I see where you're going with it, and that is a viable option. But then that would have to be like a structured training mode where you're not allowed to, at any moment add this or take that away, because you have to earn it. And training mode basically gives it all to you, except for the fact that you can add like higher tier bots to the match. I can see that you add like highest level difficulty Spartans in there, and you can say only assault rifles for that achievement or whatever. But they'd have to limit the scope of training mode a bit, because they give you too much freedom in training mode right now to add progression systems.
I mean, but they could relegate that, right? Like, you could have a freeform training that doesn't give you any progression, or like these targeted trainings and don't call it training, right? It's just it's another mode where you're playing against bots, so you're not messing up other people's game that are coming in trying to play. I'm just saying.
I'm just gonna leave this out here real quick, and then we shall move along.
That's true. It's absolutely true. There's no shame in my game. Yes,
there's no shame in his game at all. Nope, not at all.
You want to play with people?
No, but you know what? Honestly, the experience I had with this game, I have to really be honest. And Lucius Augustus was asking me. I will. It was a YouTube channel that I follow that gave me those specs. I will put them in the show notes for anybody who happens to want to check this out later, or if you want to know what I did. There are just some features. There's some sliders I turned up, some sensitivity settings that I turned up, and it seemed to really make a difference. Like the first few matches. Aimbots. It's on Series X, homie. I'm playing on the Series X. Just because you refuse to jump into the pool with the big boys does not mean you get to slander those of us who have ascended to a higher plane.
Okay. Let's ask Slow-Mo. Is it possible for people to cheat on console the way they do on PC?
The only way I can see people like cheating, and I wouldn't even call it cheating, the only way I can see people having a bit of an edge is if you like connect up those like converters that make keyboard mouses appear like controller, so it gives you aim assist in addition to your keyboard mouse. But even that is that's a bit much. Like, if you are good enough, if you are nice enough with a keyboard mouse, you have a PC. So there's no need for you to be plugging into the Series X. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is no... What I mean by cheating is there are people who tweak the code, like, and there are cheat tools that'll let you do it. That'll, like, have infinite shield. That'll have, stuff like that, where you can just blow at them, like, keep shooting at them, blow them away, and they're still standing there. Like,
you like how Slow-Mo just walked into my trap? How he acknowledges now that the cheaters are all on PC?
Oh boy, here we go. See,
you fell right for it, slow-mo.
He's either turning this show into a Sega podcast or a PC bashing podcast, both of which will not be allowed here, good sir. No, because I've actually been playing this on PC as well, and it's been a pretty decent experience. I've been enjoying it. It's not bad at all. So, Dutch, is there anything else what do you think, in your opinion, in the short term, that 343 can do to like mitigate all of this? Do you think do you think people are just like screaming into the wind, or will we see some actual forward momentum?
They'll definitely implement it. They'll definitely change it. 100%. I think they've learned a lesson from last year when there was a massive uproar, and I don't think after such hard work to get the game in a mechanically and graphically amazing state for launch to the play, and where everybody is praising the gameplay, how it feels, how it looks, how it plays, I don't think they're going to want to give that up due to progression and due to a minor issue such as how a battle pass works. You don't want to lose players because of something so trivial. So they'll definitely fix it.
But here's a question, real quick, Dutch. Do they fix it before December 8th?
No, I doubt that. I doubt that. Yeah, there's so much on the to-do list.
Changes before December 8th. Obviously, they've had their Thanksgiving break this week, which is fair enough. Obviously, developers more than deserve to have a break with the family. And rightfully so. They've been working non-stop for the last year to get this game into the best looking and playing state that they have now, and it's universally praised for it, and rightfully so. The main thing is there is two sides to the story. I think Slow-Mo mentioned it before. There is definitely two sides. There's people that are genuinely disappointed at the way that the battle pass has been dealt with, or has been dealt with, and there's people that are just looking for attention. The primary one is the disappointment with the way the battle pass is, and what I want to say to that concern is, yeah, they are major AAA developers, but it is still 343's first foray into a free-to-play model and battle passes.
True.
So it's going to take some ironing. It's going to take a little bit of tweaking here and there to get it right. Every free-to-play takes a little bit of time to balance out when they first get into it. It's never.
Can I just say though that this was an amazing first swing?
Oh
right?
yeah,
like they do need to iron some of those things out, but sometimes some of these games come out and they're not even fun at first.
Yeah, right?
I think that the foundation that they had, like you can fix progression. I don't know how easy it is because you have to balance something to
you've got to balance it. Yeah, it's just about testing.
But the foundation they've built is, to me, a home run out of the gate, and they seem very receptive to the feedback. Just from the flights, you've seen changes, really quick. And I don't know who the guy is said that, but they are sort of on vacation, and I think it is a much deserved vacation. So even if we get to the 8th and this isn't fixed yet, and I'm not speaking for me because I'm a bot master, right? Bot master. But even if it's not, I feel like we should give them a little break. At least, let's get through the new year and let them get back on the horse.
The grace that they've got there, Everborn, on the 8th is that the single player is released. So the vast majority of the multiplayer segment will be over on playing on the single player.
I'm done with multiplayer for a while after that's released. That's for damn sure.
I'll be first through the single player for a bit.
Yep. 100%.
But there's some easy fixes in there. There is some easy implementations, even in the short term, that they can implement. That's not going to ruin things. For instance, increase the player match thing to 100 XP, or keep it at 50. But if you win a match, give them an extra 50 XP or 100 XP. Obviously, give them nothing for losing. Again, just little tweaks here and there. Add kill XP, even if the kill XP is like 5 XP per kill, something small, but at least you're getting something for doing something. Just add just little implementations for the second, just to tide people over until they've got something that's a little bit more fleshed out and they understand it a little bit more.
I think another thing people want to see is those acknowledgments that they're progressing, right?
Yeah.
Like so even if you say, okay, you get this armor at let's call it level 25, right? does it make sense to say, okay, I'm going to level you up faster, but now it's a higher limit to get the armor? So it still takes the same amount of time, but people have the feeling, the placebo effect of moving faster, right? And I think that's some of the balancing they have to do. But you just need the pretty thing on the screen that says you leveled up.
It's funny that you say that, Everborn, because that's one interesting aspect that I've noticed about this free to play like foray that 343 is delving into.
Okay, hold on. Like sorry, slow-mo. I'm playing against ODST bots, not Marine bots. I haven't worked my way up to. You're
not even. Jeebus Creevers, come on, bro. You could do better than that. When it comes to that part of it, it seems like if you play any other free-to-play game, right, they hook you by just throwing progression and stuff at you to hook you in, and then they start the grind. Halo starts the grind from jump. They don't hook you. Like the game, they know the game is fun. They're there just to keep letting you have the fun. But you're not going to get any participation awards if you don't participate, even from jump. Like if you quit one match, there's not a 1, 2, 3 times and then you're banned. No. You quit a match, you're timed out for a set amount of time. It just happens. Even if it's your first match, right? There is no. Well, you get like 50%. I think you get 50% points, 50%, 50 experience points, but that's a recent occurrence. Before, you got nothing, like absolutely nothing. It seems like unlike other free-to-play games, they're not leaning too much on we're going to first and foremost get you comfortable, bring you in, this is a fun game before that grind hits. The systems are the systems from jump, which is both a good and a bad thing, right? But they have that Halo lineage to lean off of. If you're there because you know the game and you want to play that game and it's awesome, right? So they don't need to kind of, kowtow you in before they lock down the grind on you. You know what I'm saying?
They need to hire some of the Candy Crush psychologists that know how addiction works and taps into those dopamines in the brain.
Hey, shout out to my homie Mr. Mashana Loon, who came out. He was the executive producer for Candy Crush for some years. He might have some insight.
He probably knows about the psychology.
Indeed.
That's a real thing, by the way. I'm not joking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Facebook hires the same. What colors do we look at to make you look all to get you to keep clicking and this and that. So okay, before we move on though, I want to kind of bring this to a different avenue because this will lead into our other story that I want to discuss. So as we speak, Mr. Wandering Dutch is having issues with his internet connection, and as such, he's running his whole thing off of his mobile phone. He was able to. Good. Right. He was able to have Halo matches with Mike, party chat, the whole nine, off of his phone. Okay? And that is special. Now, I want him to one of these days come to us with a test of what happens when you do that all in the cloud. Absolutely cloud-based, nothing else, just straight up cloud, because I think that's very interesting. Right?
Speaking of cloud, I almost forgot another game that I tried out this week on cloud, and this is I don't know if we're going to talk about this, but Mortal Shell, because it came to game.
Yes.
I hate that.
I've played that a couple times.
It's terrible.
You hate it?
Controls. I don't see people liking it. Not good. And this is the beauty. This is the beauty of cloud gaming or xCloud.
You could just try it out.
Yes, I didn't have to waste space on my hard drive for that. I just tried it out. I knew that I didn't like it, and I didn't have to download something.
It's the From style. They're going for that From style, which some people love, but I'm not a huge fan of. I like the aesthetic of the game. I just don't like like you said, the game, the controls, the moment-to-moment controls. I feel like I don't have actual full control over the thing. But I hear you. I do like the game.
But the thing I do want to say, it is very good. Like the cloud gaming from the console.
Oh yeah, it's more than good. It's more than good.
If you weren't paying attention, you could be fooled. And the latency is really good.
That's where I'm going with this. Let me go here. So and Dutch stepped away for just a moment, but he was talking to me about, and we need to test it. He's in Ireland right now, in the UK right now, as you would be, as he is, and from there he's running it all off of his phone. I want him to test one of these days from his phone, like literally full cloud, maybe Halo matches, and see where we get, right? But you and I, good sir, keep having this debate about whether the Series S is necessary versus
I knew this was coming.
Versus playing off of the cloud, right? I think we can both agree that today what Dutch is capable of doing is not easily achievable in the States. Am I wrong?
Depends on
or do you disagree?
What state you're in.
But that's something that can't be, you can't quantify that. That's not something that the manufacturer, like that's not something that Microsoft or Xbox can depend on. Oh, well, you're in this state, so you're good. You're in that state, so you suck. No. They look at it as the pie. There was a time
when they couldn't depend on people having broadband, but they put it in the console.
But remember, broadband was a problem of technology, whereas 5G is a problem of politics.
You keep coming to 5G, but broadband solve the problem at home.
So on that note, we shall flip to another news story of the week, which is, bam, the Series S outshined. Now, Mr. Everborn Sega keeps on his square. He keeps on his square about
water wet.
No. He keeps on his square about how PlayStation had the better move with the $400 console. They didn't need to diversify, and that the Series S is gonna be useless soon when cloud becomes a thing that is ubiquitous across, and everybody has the connection for it, right?
Yes.
But clearly, the $2 trillion company kind of put their bet elsewhere, and they seem to know more than you do, good sir.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, the Microsoft prioritized manufacturing of these consoles, so there were more of these in
It's
store.
not that they prioritized the manufacturing. Because of the way this console's manufactured, they need less of those hard-to-find chips. These were basically, if you will, the runoff. And because of that, you can have more of these than you can the top dog. That's why PlayStation and Xbox Series X are harder to find. These guys do the job, but don't require as much of the oomph, and as such, aren't as affected by the chip shortage.
I don't know that that's true. So unless what you're saying is like the reason the Series S has a slightly lower clock rate is because they can basically take chips that didn't meet the yield requirements of the Series X and put them in the Series S. And
so the
maybe
reason
that's the case.
Yeah, there was a news story, and I'll keep it broad. The reason why that's the case is they could it's not. They don't make them one for one. They make them all en masse, and there are abilities for them to fail. And since there are abilities for them to fail, they need to work in, we'll call them like backups, if you will, into the system, so that you don't lose the entire yield that you created. So these are able to sustain more than the big guys are. Actually, if you recall, when the PlayStation was coming up, there was a lot of talk about them having a lot of yield issues, because you're trying to squeeze as much juice out of that rock as you can, and you can only do so much to keep it maintained. Now, at that high level,
basically, you're saying that the Series S is made from throwaway parts.
See, listen to this guy.
I'm just asking you.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
Do you know the technology? Do you remember the history of Intel versus Celeron?
I do not remember that.
Same exact thing. Intel's were the tip of the spear. Celerons were the ones that didn't meet Intel standards. Okay. But what did they turn into? They turned into Celerons, and they sold like wildfire, because it's like the idea of tech is not a stepping stone to better. Oh, 1080p, 4K. It's not. It's use cases for different situations. All right. So a Celeron is just as useful as an Intel, depending on what you're using it for. Just like the Series X to S. And as you can see there on the screen in nice black and white, it outshined everyone, even the competitor. It basically, and the man has decided to grace our presence with the fabled Fable console. Actually, this was properly liked by Aaron Greenberg.
Dutch, I think I'm going to commission you to make a Sonic Series S.
Oh, here we go.
It doesn't want to actually like focus on it, which is great.
So it's nice and color palette blurry. But yo, if you guys are not checking out like Wandering Dutch's channel and his Twitter, you see all this amazing work the man has done. You know, people are liking it left and right. It's one of the best works I've seen him do. You know, with the actual custom consoles, absolutely brilliant. So. Yes, you were saying.
So I will say this. Part of my calculation that, or not calculation, but my assumption is that the Series S, why I wasn't a fan of it, and I think that they should have done an all digital version of the Series X, which I think they still could do.
Backtrack?
No. So I did not.
He is wearing his cap. Go ahead. Start capping. Go ahead.
I did not expect for the chip shortages to last so long. So I expected
and it's going to last until 2023 by some estimations.
I expected by now that like 1 year in, no more than 2 years in, that the price would come down even on the digital PlayStation 5. And if the price could come down faster on that, was this really worth it? Because I feel like $399 is not that far of a stretch. And so if there was a digital
that's $100 more, player.
Would have $299 to $399. But again, we've always said this, right? The one who will win the holiday season is who can produce more consoles, right? That's all.
And when you have when you have a console that doesn't have the constraints that the others do, you have more leeway to make more of them. So it seems like the $2 trillion company was thinking ahead.
I don't know about that, and we'll see how this
evidence is on the screen.
We'll see how this leads them 4 and 5 years from now, if it was worth it.
See, but at the end of the day, those guys who buy this. When like in the future, when these consoles are still in the environment, and my little man is over there, there's you have one too. Am I wrong, or do you have a Series S?
Oh, you talking to me? I have 2 Series X's, and I got my girls a Series S.
You see my point? You can call it as throwaways you want, but everyone on this panel has one, in addition to an X, right? And yes, you can call us the hardcore, but as you can see here, even the non-hardcore now outsold, made this thing be popular.
More Series X's than the PS5, that would have sold out, and that would have been the number one. It's not a function of the price. It's only a function of that is what's available. That's all I'm saying.
See, but the point is, in the climate that we're in, making more Series X's was not possible. Just like making more PS5s isn't possible. So they were able to thread the needle, give you next gen, right? You can actually call this a next gen console. I'm looking at you there, Nintendo, right? And still be able to produce more of them.
Beast Mode has an interesting point.
Oh, bro, my X screen is still in manufacturing, my good sir. You will see me all display mode
it would
when it shows
effectively
up.
become Xbox's Nomad.
Yes, I am so excited for that day. And when that happens, I will completely put dev mode on and just be nothing but like emulation all day, just on that little thing. It's going to be amazing. So, are we surprised by this news?
No.
Nope.
But it's not because of the price. It's just because they made more. And I'll say
they were able to.
No, but I'll say that they have been manufacturing a lot of the Series S, because like maybe a week and a half ago, I walked into Costco and they just had a bunch of Series S's that I could take to the counter, take the card up, and go buy. There was nothing else there. You couldn't get a Series X, couldn't get it.
Right.
So I am saying that I think that Microsoft has purposefully put more of those out into the market.
Well, but again, look it up. It is easier to make the Series S than there is to make the X or the PS5. That's the point. Okay. So if you are in the world where all there is the top end, and the top end is hard to find, right? Then you make the lower end, and
I
people
know,
buy
but
the hell
will
out of
that
them, and they
lower
shine.
end hold them back later on in the gen? That's all I'm saying. And that's it.
Bro,
that's the only point.
have you heard that news that the VCR Xboxes can now play next gen games just off the cloud?
Yeah, but you
There's
can't
no
do
need
that
to
to
hold
S.
these back. Why
They
not?
can't do that with the S.
Why
You
not?
tell me there's going to be a point where they're saying a game can only play on the X and you have to play it in cloud mode on the Series
X
S?
in some years, we don't know when those years will be.
I don't
In
think
some
they'll do
years,
that.
let me finish.
Uproar
In some
would
years,
be
when
insane.
the X becomes the floor, huh? That S, just like the VCR Xboxes, now play. Doesn't mean that every game just gets locked out. No, you can play all the library you can up until now. But at some point, when the X becomes the floor, and they have the next gen, because remember, they're not going to go to generations anymore. They are now the Netflix of games. They have a vested interest to keep you in your library indefinitely. They're not going to chop you off and go, oh, here's the new Xbox, all your old ones need to get dusty. No, that was PlayStation's game. There is no way Xbox is doing that. So at some point, just like an iOS device, they'll say, now, see the tip of the spear, the big dog, the Series X? Yeah, now that's the budget machine. Here's our new dog. Oh, and if you have the older machines, you can play your old games still on it. But if you want to play this new hotness that does everything even more amazing, guess what we have for you? We have cloud. That can happen.
Okay, so
and they've already done it with the original, with the Xbox One. So that proves it.
Generation. If that happens, I will take that bet with you, sir. I do not think they will do that.
I'm telling you, in the next 5, maybe 10 years, that will happen.
The lifespan of the Series S is tied to the Series X. And so as long as native games will come to the Series X, they will have to come to the Series S. And if you want to take that bet.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that this happens anytime soon.
It doesn't have to happen.
And you're absolutely right.
There's no world where a game will come out that is only playable on the Series X, but not the S. That is what I'm saying. And if that natively,
I'll take that bet with you. At some point,
so now the bet is whoever loses this bet is going to have to buy the other one, whatever the new console is that replaces the S.
Sure, that's fine. We'll do that. But see, that's the thing. I don't even think that there'll be a world where, oh, here's the new generation. They'll just add more consoles in as technology permits, and it won't be new generation. It's not a generation. It's like PC. When was the last PC generation?
No, I get that. Well, PC generations tend to go by when the new cards come out.
When did the i7 give away to the i9, which give away to the
3000? Even then, Asante, the i7 is still the peak one. The i9 is worse performing than the i7.
Yep, in certain instances, that's right. So in the PC world, it does not behoove them to cut off generations. And Xbox is heading full square in that direction, right? They want to muddy the water of hardware just about the content.
Let me clarify something for the developers in the room.
Oh, clarification.
When I say hold back,
please explain.
I only mean that the developers will have one more SKU to optimize for, because it is not really something you develop with sliders. You have to optimize with the constraints of the system you're designing to. And let's not say it's not doable, but that is more work on the devs, which
but you understand that is the reason why.
Hold on a minute. Okay. It will either extend the development time or it will require them to cut back on designs that they may have. It is not
much like Pepperidge Farms and Pixel Bit G. We will not forget this.
Oh.
And the internet will not forget.
That's
we shall come back to this conversation.
That's why I'm saying it here. Listen, the internet is going to remember.
That's why he's hedging his bets. Oh yeah, you're shaving. See, when you say you were shaving your beard, the reason why it didn't make a splash like you wanted it to, because you don't have the Wandering Dutch joint. You don't have what I used to have.
I feel like
yours is a weekend's worth of work.
Okay. This is some beard changing going on.
If the Dutch says that, right, then it's like, oh my god.
Okay, I see what's going on. I see what's going on. I see. I didn't know this was that kind of show.
In all seriousness, though, the Series S is is most definitely. Granted, people look at it and say it's underpowered, but when you play one and you use one, you soon see where that market is heavily lying, and specifically for those, for instance, who have a PlayStation 5 and they don't want to get the Series X, but they want an Xbox to play the games. The Series S is perfect. Then you also look at streamers, and the reason I also got the Series S on mine was because I used the Series S for streaming on a monitor, a 1080p monitor.
There you go. Yep.
And it's perfect for those people, especially like all these online streamers that's like, well, we can't get a hold of a Series X, but we can definitely get a hold of a Series S, and it does just as good a job on like on a 1080p 27-inch monitor as a big Series X.
To your point, Dutch, who will go and buy a Series X for the purpose of streaming when you know 4K streaming is not a thing? 4K streaming is not a thing. Now, higher frame rates.
You know what it is? I looked into 4K streaming and the bandwidth levels that you need for 4K 60 streaming on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it is astronomical.
It's astronomical. It's not achievable.
Upload speeds you need are 70 to 80 megabytes minimum to get 4K 60.
Constant. Yeah. That's
Let
not
me
a
ask
world
you guys
where let me just finish real quick. Hold your point. That's not a world that it's not a staircase of old tech bad, new tech good. No. Most people, if you're a straight streamer or you're somebody who's serious about it, your frame rates are more important to you than your resolution. And for that, we have a console for you called the Series S. It doesn't have to be old tech bad, that has less T-flop, so that means it's worse. No, we don't live in that world. We don't have to live in that world. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, everyone.
No. I was saying to the 4K argument, like, and I know we have like FSR and all of that stuff coming down.
Yeah.
Right. And ray tracing, which I
That'll
just
get
think
better with time.
Yeah, people think because we live in this like instant gratification world now where everything is a 1 and a 0, and I think a lot of people don't understand it's new tech that developers are going to take time to learn, and then before you know it, it will be ubiquitous and it will be in every game. It's just like a standard thing. That being said, I feel like we focus too heavily on native 4K resolution. And if we look at Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Imagine if the focus on the Series X, I'm not talking about the Series S. Imagine if the focus on the Series X was 1440p, but giving you consistent 60 and 120 FPS and all the effects and everything.
With FSR and DLSS, 100%. That is exactly what we're going to get. It's going to get 1440p will be the ceiling, and it'll be a mimic to 4K, and that's the best way to do it. 1440p is still crisp as hell.
Yep. The world in which, like, and I always equate this to working out. The world in which, you have to brute force everything, 4K this, leg day, arm day, it's gone. It's optimization. It's smart, not harder. The idea that this faster GPU is better than that slower, that's not the world we live in anymore. They optimize at such a level. If you guys ever watched that Ori documentary where they really sat down and spelled out how, and I think Digital Foundry, shout out to them, helped put that together, where they show you that depending on the slice of the game you're looking at any given moment, the further back ones are like 400p. But the resolution on screen says 6K in certain instances, and you'll believe it because it's beautiful, because they know that the human eye can't perceive all that data back there. So why waste the resources? People that live in that native 4K world are just, it's a sign of the times. It's old.
Every time I switch from quality to performance mode, maybe I'll notice like less trees and less grass, but in terms of texture fidelity, I can barely notice that when they do those things. So I'm saying that to say, like, there's a lot of people that get caught up on this 4K thing. And I just feel like even if we're not at the FSR world yet, because I don't think Guardians uses that.
The perfect example for that is Forza Horizon 5, because they've implemented to the techniques into their engine where they specifically draw distances, etc. They load what is required to load at any given time and any given moment, and the quality wise, they can for instance, to maintain a frame rate, they can drop things on the fly and increase things on the fly. So the fidelity's never really hampered. The quality's never hampered. The amount of items on screen isn't really hampered. Anything to keep the performance up, but it's all on the fly. So as you mentioned there, you don't really notice a difference in performance because that exact thing's happening. To keep that locked 60 frames, they're doing things on the fly to make sure it still looks just as pretty, but running at that locked 60.
See, Everborn, that is the reason why whenever you and I have this conversation about Series S, I'm so bullish on it, because Microsoft a while ago started understanding that idea of faster, stronger was a broken concept. And there's a lot of things in this little guy, of course, also in the Series X, that is.
I think with FSR and implemented and all of these other new techniques that are still getting pushed and getting ironed out and getting ready, with FSR specifically for this guy, not so much the Series X, because that has the brute force.
That still has the brute force. Guy,
FSR is going to be an
shine
absolute,
so bright. In like a DLSS was not great until at least 2.0. Give it time. You will come into a world in the next 4 to 5 years where this guy is still punching left and right, and you will be stunned at what you see because they're not implementing most of those features yet.
Would you argue that the Series S is in fact the main SKU?
Yes. Yes.
And the Series X is just so that they wouldn't be outclassed.
It's for the enthusiasts.
By Sony.
That's right. It's for the enthusiasts. This is the console.
The main reason I've heard people getting the Series X over a Series S is got nothing to do with its power. The only reason is because some people are still set on physical and they want a disc.
I still have physical discs. I still have some.
Yeah. And that's from personal, just speaking to the average consumer as well, not like us who are delved into like hardcore.
See, and real quick, Dutch. You're talking about S. You're talking about discs. Yeah. When shout out to Lord Cognito, when he broke out 50 Cent Blood and Sand, I started weeping because without the disc, you can't partake. There is no digital version of that one. You see what I'm saying?
I thought Jason Reynolds gave out a code for that on Thanksgiving.
No.
He was giving out codes all day.
They used to have. You can buy. There were those who were able to get it digitally before, but they no longer sell it digitally. You have to have the disc in order to play it. So there's always a use case for the disc. And real quick to the point of Halo, you know that you can grab your OG Dusty Foot Xbox One or OG Xbox plus the 360 plus the One, and depending on the discs you have, y'all can have a LAN party and still play from the original console all the way to the series consoles. So the idea that we're just living in a full digital world, there's still a use for those discs. I have every single Halo on disc, and even though Infinite's coming around the block and I'll be able to play it, I also bought the disc because I want to keep my collection. And that doesn't become useless because all of a sudden all consoles are digital. I will always want a console with a disc. So for me, that's perfect. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to that stuff. So yes, it will be interesting, but this is why, if you ever want to know, everyone, this is why every time we have this conversation about, the Series S was not necessarily used for should not exist and all of that, this is why I'm always fighting you on it. Because in a world where it's all about the fastest and the strongest, you're right. But we don't live in that world anymore. Technology has changed. They are now working smarter, not harder, right? And the only reason why you don't see it is because we're still in that mixed world where even if you look at Halo Infinite, for as great as that game is, they had a lot of taskmasters, including those old Jaguar chips. So it's basically an Xbox One game that's been shined up. And if the floor was a Series S, it would look completely different.
I will guarantee you I will be picking up more Series S than I will be another Series X for this household.
There you go.
It's just it just works so much better, and it's so much more simple. Especially like the Series X is the big boy, so that's me when I'm diving into Halo's single player campaign for the first time solo. I will be plugged in front of that. Nobody will be disturbing me, playing it in all of its glory. When the co-op comes out in several months' time, I'll be sitting in front of here on the Series S playing the co-op.
That's right. Because at that point, the full crisp 4K OLED blah 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 is not as necessary as your stable frame rates, right? So let's move quickly on to this story. It seemed like a small story, but I think that Everborn, you are now uniquely qualified to understand where I'm coming from with this. Out of nowhere, right? We heard that they bought Night School Studios. Netflix did, right? We heard a bunch of stuff. Oh, and by the way, I see about 35 folks in here. I appreciate you guys being here. I see the chat is still lively. Thank you so much. If you haven't, please like, subscribe, share it out so other people can join in on the fun as well. We appreciate y'all being here, and thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful Saturday morning. So, well, Saturday afternoon and evening, depending on where you are there, Mr. Dutch. I apologize. So,
I just want to say I love that Xbox hired the kid from the meme. Like, they just did another commercial yesterday that they released.
Absolutely hilarious, indeed. So, out of nowhere, we first heard that Netflix bought a game studio. We were like, all right, Night School Studios, for those who don't know, they do Oxenfree. Great game if you haven't tried it. Very cool. Their way of dialogue is unique in the industry. The dialogue progression and how they talk to each other, characters do. And now you see that in the actual, and I don't know if it has come to pass also on iOS, but on Android phones, you can go in there and right away you can actually download some very, very mediocre like mobile games. But as you know, it always starts mediocre, right? This was a story that came out, and we were kind of like, okay, we'll see how it goes, and then we moved on. But now, good sir, Mr. Everborn Saga, you have finished Arcane.
I have finished Arcane, yes.
So what does that tell you about this story now? This video game company, Riot Games, by the way, and shout out, I'm sure we will be a lot more vocal on the reel this Thursday about Arcane because he's finished watching it. I'm finished watching it. Netflix, Arcane, League of Legends. Yes, I know, MOBA, whatever. I hated it. I'm like, what the hell? Get out of here with all this. Until I saw that show, I'm all in. I'm not playing MOBAs. Don't ask me for that. But I'm on the phone. I'm on Twitter every day. Riot Games, please make me a third-person narrative.
You know what's so interesting about that show is that Riot Games actually did almost all of the animations. They did it with a French company.
Which I believe. Yes.
And because there's so much.
And you guys were right, by the way, for on the reel for last week. Microsoft needs to get their lawyers in check because, man, they call it Arcane for a reason. It is such a bite. Such a bite. But it's good. It's beautiful.
But I think,
and there'll be no spoilers. Don't worry.
No spoilers. But,
no spoilers. Yeah.
I think that part of that art style comes from the French guys, the French company that they hired, Arcane. The Arcane stuff looks like that because of probably Arcane Lyon, the artist that they have there. So maybe it's just a French style of art.
It could be. Yes. But am I right in saying that the needle that they're threading now shows some very interesting connotations here? Netflix now surprises folks with free games which are shitty right now. Let's be honest. I'm sorry to swear, but right now. But then you see this Arcane show, which has been greenlit for season 2, and you go, oh man, I can see a world where Riot goes, hey, you love this season 2? How about we throw you this game that's exclusively on Netflix that you can play right away? They're getting something.
The problem though is, and I think they can make a lot of money if they in the mobile space, because we can all kid ourselves. It's not console, it's not PC.
Oh, by the way,
that is growing the fastest.
just a flip side here. Netflix are on AWS, and what's also on AWS? Luna. So they don't really have to limit themselves to mobile games. They could go, hey, try this other game. You click on it. You are on your phone. And boom, you're playing an actual game in the cloud. Luna has proved it's possible. And believe it or not, even though it's quiet and nobody says anything about it, Luna's a very stable, decent service. I've tried it. Obviously, Stadia did not do right with it, but the tech is there. These other services have proved that it can be done. I've been
saying this for the past year, that neither Amazon nor Google actually want people to subscribe to Stadia or Luna. They want to sell it to their partners who want to create streaming services.
Because think about that world, right? Right now, Arcane is taking over the zeitgeist. It stands at 100% Rotten Tomatoes still to this day, right? people are realizing how amazing that origin is.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm looking at that series and I am like going back to my Everborn notes. Like I just have to step my game up. And when you watch something that makes you like reevaluate your whole life, it's
1 hour decision. Castlevania is an amazing series. Arcane droplets all over that thing. I love Castlevania. Arcane is next level insanity, amazing. Like artistry, storytelling. I am a MOBA, like anti-MOBA dude, okay? I'm close to trying out League of Legends just because of this show. But I won't do it. But still.
One thing we talked about offline is that I think that not everything needs to be live action, because I don't think this would have worked in live action. The medium that they chose for this is perfect for what it is. And before you say that, if any of you guys remember Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, that movie, this is like that, but next level and with an actual competent story.
It is like, I will say, to the point where this show would be less than if you made it in live action.
Advent Children slander, I will not stand for it.
No. I mean, listen, Advent Children was breakthrough at the time. This poop all over it.
So this is the second time Dutch is hearing me like go hyperbolic on this show. First time it was just me myself, and now Everborn finished watching it. This is the second time. The next time we speak, good sir, watch at least episode 1. Trust me, it is so good.
Well, you got to get to episode 3. I feel. I mean, episode 1 is gonna hook you, but after you get to episode 3, you're gonna say it's one of the best things you've watched this year.
Continue the tradition of people who agree with me.
What is he agreeing with you about?
That you the show is really good.
You don't know. You just saying somebody agrees with you. Now,
indeed.
The thing is, this is what we want. This stands as the best. Yes, and it's not even close. Yes. And I know
Into
it's a
the
low
Spider-Verse
bar,
was my pinnacle. Into the Spider-Verse was my pinnacle. This outdoes that.
It does outdo that. But what I'm saying is, and first of all, the way the black people are portrayed.
Oh my God!
And like I said,
the way all races are portrayed.
Yes, all of that strong African mother vibe.
Oh boy, she walked in like battle scars. You're just like, yo, this is crazy right now. You need no more spoilers, please.
Okay,
go in fresh. Don't let anybody tell you what happens. Stay off of Twitter because there's a bunch of memes now spreading about Arcane. Go watch the show.
Yes.
Go 100%. Watch the show.
The other thing that I want to point out, like, even if the bar was high, this stands at the top of the mountain of video game adapted properties to narrative TV or film. Mm-hmm. This is the one. This is the one you can. This is the top of the mountain.
This is the top of the mountain.
If this is the level,
and Advent Children got us there. Advent Children was one of the steps to get us there. Their storytelling wasn't as great, but their technology at the time and all that, even the animatrix where they kind of used the same tech, like all of those were stepping stones to get us to Arcane. Yeah, Arcane is the top of the mountain.
I don't know that I believe Uncharted, the Uncharted film with Tom Holland, is going to get us there, but this
Nathan Fillion's film was better. Even though it was only a small segment.
This is Arcane is the shining example of what we want when we want a property adapted to the screen, like to TV or movies. So
and Love, Death, and Robots is a very interesting. I like that. Think of Love, Death, and Robots, but like a whole show on one of the best, because Love, Death, and Robots is like this small little vignette, that small little vignette. Some of them are great, some of them not so great. This is just like the world building. I used to hate. I had a problem with Overwatch because Overwatch built this new method where instead of telling us the show, showing us the story, like having us live the story, they'll just tell it to us in cool cutscenes and then move on to the multiplayer, right? And a lot of others followed suit, and I really dislike that because I am a storytelling single player campaign guy, and you're taking that away from me just to get to the multiplayer. You're telling it to me in cutscenes, then moving on, right? So I was really anti all of that, right? And that's why I really don't focus on Riot. And then, of course, MOBA showed up. I'm like, get out of here with all this. I
You know
want
what
a
my
full
favorite
story.
animated game-related film has been of
What's that?
many recent years? Dead Space Downfall.
I've seen it. And it is very good. It is a very good companion to that show.
It's a great,
to that
yeah,
game.
it's a great start before you play the game.
Yes, it is, bro. You will not be disappointed. I will say it one last time before we move on. If you can hear the sound of my voice, go watch Arcane. Okay, so let's move on. And I thought I'd bring this one up because this is just 2 thumbs up. This, and we'll talk more about Netflix, it on the reel. I'm sure.
About Netflix.
Go ahead. Speak.
Do not discount how difficult it is to break into the gaming space.
True.
Right.
True. Yes.
Does Netflix have the stomach? Right.
No. Well, but this wouldn't be Netflix though. I would think in this hypothetical world where all of a sudden they're now like delivering you games, just like you're saying that Arcane was like most of the animation was done by Riot. I can see them letting Riot take the lead in providing as much of all of that as needed, and all that Netflix would do is provide a home to hyperlink into that world. Right. Here it is in the cloud. Boom! As soon as you're finished playing, watching the show, you're all hyped up about it at 4 o'clock in the morning. You press a button and you're in the game.
You're talking about the tech of it and the reach of it, but tech and reach alone does not make you a formidable combatant. I don't disagree with you on that. And I don't say this to say. Even Tencent, who's getting their tentacles into everyone, they still have not made their killing blow yet, right? Microsoft is 20 years.
By the way, Tencent owns Riot, which then owns Arcane, so they are there,
right? But what I'm saying is, Microsoft is 20 years into this thing. Sony is almost 30 years into this thing.
Yep. No,
Nintendo, how long has EA and all these guys been into it? It is a thing that you have to have a stomach for decades to get into.
No, I get you.
And nobody's going to come in and take it over overnight. At least I don't think. So
I agree with you. The only thing I will say to that counterpoint is my anecdotal idea that I walked into this not knowing anything about any of those characters, not knowing the origin, this and that. And I'll tell you, at 2 o'clock in the morning when I finished watching the last episode, had there been a link to a game featuring these characters or something that continued that story, and I would be playing till the morning, the wee hours of the morning. I would have continued because that game, the end of that show, got me so hyped that it really a missed opportunity that wasn't available.
A story like that doesn't come along often.
Oh no, right? Of course.
So something that powerful is not going to kind of.
I get it, but the threads are there, and they just need to keep working at it. So that makes this whole, because initially my whole idea about Netflix jumping into games, I'm like, get out of here with all of that. They had like Stranger Things, little 8-bit Stranger Things games. I'm like, hasn't that ship sailed? But I see it now. Imagine they because look, they're already working with Konami, as we've already established. Castlevania is one of the best shows on there. Yes, we are reading.
But you can't read the Sega tea leaves that they're going to end up a first-party publisher. But you read these tea leaves. But okay, I won't take that personal.
Yeah, like you own Sega. Like, shut your mouth. Take it impersonally. Anyway, I'll move swiftly along. So I thought I'd bring
personally that you're not listening to my wisdom.
Sure. I decided to bring this story up because I kind of wanted it to be like it's a bit of sad news in my humble opinion. So the world in which rock band or Guitar Hero is going to come back and really make a strong comeback, I suspect this is the last nail in that coffin, because the recent news. Epic Games has bought Harmonix to help create, quote, musical journeys in Fortnite. Insert facepalm here. What do you think there? What is your thoughts on it? Oh yes, Dutch. You first. I know you were talking about how you had a liking for it. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved the original Guitar Heroes. I wasn't a fan of rock bands, etc., but I absolutely loved Guitar Heroes. The weird and wacky art style, but more importantly, the actual music on the original Guitar Heroes was good. Rock Band, so on and so forth. It kind of strayed away from it and started to put any old stuff in it. But the original rock, like the
original Rock Band, yes,
music was actual rock
the Guitar
music.
Hero, yeah. No, I get you, and I will say they diversified because a lot more people were playing it. But there was a time in my life where after a long, hard day of tech work, me and a bunch of people would go to a house or even sometimes in the office, pick up dumb plastic guitars. And for those who don't know, musician all my life, I play a bunch of instruments. We would pick up dumb instruments and somebody would be on the mic. You'd have a bassist, you'd have a guitarist, you'd even have a pianist, and a drummer. We'd go to freaking town. And in certain instances, Rock Band can actually teach you to play drums. It can really, because the harder the difficulty, the more true to life the actual the tabs get to the actual music that you're playing. So they really took it there, and I loved that, the communal aspect of it, And you're right, they went off the rails a little bit with songs that really didn't belong in that genre. It didn't belong in that game. But by and large, if you pick the right track, even in Rock Band, if you pick the right track and you were there with a bunch of people that really were good at it, bro, it was magical. It was mad. As I speak to you right now, I have plastic guitars and drums in my garage, and I will never give them up. I have my 360 connected there because at some point, every once in a while, the wife wants to break it out. Yes, my wife, who's not a gamer, wants to break it out and play that game because it was just that special. And you can play with a bunch of people. So this news to me is very sad.
The lesser known DJ Hero when they brought that out.
Bro, I have that in my. I have the Dr. Dre Eminem Special Edition in my garage right now of DJ Hero.
Special Edition.
There you go. So this is just me here sharing this thing. It'll never come to pass again. Everborn, do you have any experience with any of these plastic instruments?
A long time ago, yes. And I will say that, the king is dead, but long live the king. Right? So we may not get another Rock Band, but there was another game that came out this year that was one of the most beautiful games that came out, all designed around music.
Yes, true. I know where you're going.
Right?
Go ahead.
And the Artful Escape could be our new Rock Band.
Tetris.
It was
Tetris Effect.
Yeah. Tetris Effect too. Yes.
So there are ways to evolve that. And when was the last Rock Band that came out?
Yeah, it's been a while. And I have like hundreds of bought music in that game. Hundreds.
If people like the rock music type of thing, sorry, not even rock music. If people like the Guitar Hero-esque type thing, the on rails, hit your notes type of stuff, but like dance music, have a look at Avicii's game. That is on Xbox and Nintendo and PlayStation.
Hey, just one thing.
That has got his entire back catalog of music before, obviously, he passed away. It's a spaceship that you control. And you've got to go through and like flick it side to side and hit.
And it has all of it, and it's
all of his music.
It's synced to his music. That's awesome. Okay. You were saying, Everborn?
Highlight Slow-Mo's comment.
Let's see. Let's see. Is this one?
Yeah. So Epic is trying to transcend Fortnite into more than just a video game because the majority of their demographic is super casual gamers 100%. Who only play Fortnite. Could Fortnite actually become the metaverse?
Oh, you said the words.
I said the words.
No, I need to.
This is the only game where I agree with that because of.
No, I agree as well.
They've already went into that.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've distanced themselves from a particular person they had a massive event from, Travis Scott, for obvious reasons. But their events.
Damn, I have a dream speech in there.
They do some extremely big events inside of a game that is you have to tip the hat on because it is super cool on what they do there.
Yeah, very true. Very true. See, I think that like we should have like virtual slime for all those who remember the old Nickelodeon days. Every time anybody says metaverse, I should hit a button, and then slime just goes on the screen.
You
like,
can't escape it, man. You should get a graphic made and just have.
I will. Oh, by the way, Stream Deck is in the spot, so it's going to be interesting. We're going to see how it goes down. But one day I'm going to hit a button and it's just going to be like all of you. Every time anybody says meta, get out of here with all that crap. Anyway,
it's like you said the thing. No, but I mean, imagine a hellscape of a future where we're all putting on VR headsets and hopping inside of this world that we're trying to build these our characters out, and it's really going to be the Oasis, and it's not going to come from Facebook or Microsoft. It'll come from Epic and goddamn Fortnite.
Please no, please no, please no. Anyway,
I have seen the end of times.
Yeah, and it's a horrible, horrible future. It's a horrible future. Anyway, so let's see. Yeah, besides that, then let me see. Well, we have a few more stories we could get into, but I think, you know what? Let's get into the big topic. Let's get into what we're here to discuss, okay? And I just pulled a couple.
Oh, I forgot about 2022, right?
Yeah.
So much Halo and Metaverse talk.
Yeah, I just pulled a few little stories here and there for your list, for your viewing pleasure, just to get our feet wet, as it were. And I kind of wanted to, really have that conversation about 2022 now. Now I may miss some games, I may miss some things that we want to talk about, but by and large, it looks like 2022 is going to be some kind of a killer year for games. More than it was this year. We thought, pandemic's going to ruin everything, but it looked like there was a lot of games that came out this year. Do you all disagree with that?
No,
we were talking about the asterisk year, but it didn't turn out that way. Am I wrong?
No, it's absolutely mountains of games and a lot of big games as well. You have to think of the amount of very large games that we got this year across the board. And I mean, even at the beginning, yes, it was a tail end of last year. If you're going on Jeff Keighley's timeline, that counts as this year.
I like that slander. Good job, sir. Yeah. You're on the right show.
If you're going on Jeff Keighley's timeline, 2020 is 2021. So we've played the likes of Cyberpunk. We've played Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We've played Watch Dogs Legions. We've played the new Far Cry 6. We've had Ratchet and Clank. We've had Kena. We've had Deathloop. We've had the Flight Sim on Xbox. We've had Forza Horizon 5. Halo Infinite's coming in a week and a half. It is just insane. And I am forgetting a lot of games as well. A lot of games that have come out this year. But there is so much that I've played through. And like Valhalla and Cyberpunk were the first ones that I completely finished this year. And they were
and bro, Cyberpunk, I hate to say it, but Cyberpunk, it gets its righteous smoke. I get that. But there's such a nugget of an amazing game in there, man. Oh God, if you unfortunately don't have the capability to play it.
Its own problems, It is such a great game that I wish someday people will give the chance to when it's ironed out. I'm lucky enough to be one of the people that had pretty much zero issues with the game and was able to enjoy it.
100%.
But I can see, even from people who are trying to give it a chance now, their version of what they're playing is bugged to hell and they can't play it, and it's still a shame to see, because I know it's a great game and I know somebody who's playing it where it is buggy, but he's still enjoying it, and he loves it.
Slow-mo, real quick, if you had the chance to, I hope you got the chance to, Epic Games released like a precursor to Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and it was free on the Epic Game Store for a little while. Like absolutely free. I think it's like maybe an hour or so of footage. I don't know if you got a chance to partake in that, but I hope you did, because if you like it so much and you're thinking that that's going to be a day one, then you should get on that. Oh, here we go. Yes, if it wasn't, it's still overrated. Have you played it, sir? Did you play? Did you play it to completion?
He's talking about Tiny Tina like the same way he talks about Sonic. It's just all slander. You can't listen to this man talk.
You can't listen to Slow-mo. No, you can't listen. But yes, let's go through here a little bit because some of these I did not even like recognize where. Oh, he beat it. All right, bro. I stand corrected, good sir. All right, yes. But you know what? Actually, before we even head in that direction, the end of the year is upon us, and there are a lot of like games that are on sale and deals that are being had here and there. Just real quick, have y'all like opted into it? Like Steam sales are all over the place, discounts heavy everywhere. Everborn, have any of y'all gotten into any of that?
Nope.
See, we tend to be those who buy those games day one, and then when they go on sale, we just keep shaking our heads like, mother.
So I keep telling people you don't got to buy these games on day one. And then I proceed to buy them on day one.
Yeah, I've sworn myself not to get involved in any of these sales. I have far too many games to play and coming up to be diving into even more games. Like far too many. I've obviously we've got the Halo Infinite campaign coming up in a week and a half. The Gunk comes out after that.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah. Still playing through Forza Horizon 5. I've got back catalogs of games to play on PC and PlayStation and Nintendo.
So you guys close your eyes to it. Screw it. We're not getting involved. Well done. I myself was not so smart with it. Well, okay. I'll hedge my own bets and say I did buy some games, but I did not buy them for myself. I bought them for the kids, and I'll say that a little quietly because they might be listening. If anyone ever heard of Mario Kart Home Circuit, it was that AR.
That looks awesome.
And it was like when it first came out last year, I was upset. Oh, you know I am. I'm like, this is me. This is me buying a bowling ball for my wife. You know, if anybody remembers that Fred Flintstone reference. So it came out last year, and you needed 2 Switches and 2 kits to buy it, to do it. And the kit in America was $100. I'm like, no, I'm not buying another Switch and then buying another kit so that my kids can play together. Since like as recently as a week ago, they released an update. And with the Black Friday deals, it's $50 per kit. So now I got Mario and Luigi, and they can all play on one Switch, split screen on the big screen. Oh, it's going down this year. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait. They're literally sitting like above my head on my shelf up there. You know, the kids have not noticed it, but I'm looking forward to breaking that out, playing. You know, you can set the circuit anywhere you want in your house. If you haven't seen it, y'all need to check it out. It's actually worthy now of a purchase because if you buy just one, it's $50. You get the AR and the game, and if you happen to buy another $50 one, you can add different carts to the characters, and you can, you know, set it up in your house, and you see your house through the camera on your screen while they layer on top all the Mario goodness. I am so excited to try that out. So if y'all are interested, although I do hear you need like good floor space to make it really happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're lucky in Florida. We have open floor plans. There's a lot of room where we are, so we can totally get that done. I'm waiting for the day I break it out for the kids to go, oh yeah, we're done now. We're moving on. I'm like, all right, yeah, y'all keep it moving, and I'll just be sitting there like,
yep.
I'm looking forward to that. But yes, let's move on. Let's move on real quick to actually what we're here to discuss. So, are any of these like? And I just started looking at these lists, and there's a few more. IGN has theirs, Game Informer, and PSU. I know that PlayStation is supposed to have a banner year next year, so I pulled up theirs. You know, Weird West wasn't that supposed to come out last year?
Yeah,
I thought I saw Weird West.
The
like,
whole
on many
2022 lineup is all we're hype about it because it was all supposed to come out in 2021.
It's supposed to come out in 2021, right? Weird West with this really interesting.
I don't mean Weird West. I mean everything.
Everything, lots of the games, yes, and that's why I wanted to look at 2022 because a lot of them that were pushed are now going to be on this list. So it should be a stacked year, especially February. February is supposed to be like ridiculous. Your wallet's supposed to just hurt like in February if you're not on Game Pass. Shout out to Game Pass. Anyway, so it looks like January so far. Like, anybody excited for Rainbow Six Extraction?
Nope.
Dutch, how about you? Rainbow Six Extraction. It used to be Rainbow
January.
Six. It wasn't Pandemic or whatever. What was it?
The only game on that list that I'll be getting is Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Okay.
You know
you're a Pokemon player.
I've beat God of War. And God of War to me, and we talk about one and done and blah blah blah. It was my game of the year back in 2018. But once you've played that game to completion,
There's nothing more to
platinumed
do with it.
There is
Yeah.
literally no reason to go back to that game. There is zero
Yep.
reason. I've tried it. The
Yep.
story was hard hitting the first time. If you
Mhm.
try to play through that game anymore, it doesn't have the same effect. It is a brilliant game. It is deserving of game of the
Hey, it's
year
good
that
for
it got,
PC
but
players.
it's
This will
not
be
the
this will
same.
be great for PC players. I look forward to the cleanup, the glow up, the port, the mods, and all of that. I'm a heathen. I'll probably double dip and see what PC players do, or I'll probably just wait until the scene gets mature before I get it on a deal or something. Because I played it on PS5, on PS4
Yeah, I wouldn't
as well.
pay full price for it.
No.
Price for it.
Yeah. So it looks like January is not much.
For me, January is going to be all about
Halo?
finally. No, I think January for me is going to be about Horizon Zero Dawn, like completing that, so I'm ready for February and the gunk. December is all Halo, but January is Horizon Zero Dawn with the 60 FPS patch and
I agree.
And running through the gunk.
No, I hear you. That's a good game.
Pokemon Legends is what they should have done years ago when they announced the Switch and said it was the home console and blah blah blah. I said what they really need to do is make the first true AAA console version of Pokemon, as opposed to just handheld. And Legends is a step in that direction.
Okay. See, much Pokemon, like I was out
Pokemon
of gaming.
Is essentially their Final Fantasy.
True. You're absolutely right. I was out of gaming when Pokemon really hit big, so they haven't really like connected with me as such. My kids love Pokemon, so I cannot escape Pikachu in my house.
All the way from the OG Grey Game Boy.
Okay. So I look forward to them showing me why I need it in my life, and you know me, I'll try anything that's good. I'm sitting here capping for Arcane right now, League of Legends, and I hated that. So I'm ripe to be convinced. So we'll see. I hope it actually does what they want it to do. Because I've heard a lot of people say that finally they need a Pokemon game that's with that AAA, real game budget. Much like how Everborn Saga is looking for Sonic that way. But we'll move quickly along.
Wow.
February. Wanted to see if he was paying attention. I want to see if he was paying attention. He's like, what? Huh? Sega? February looks to be like when it really gets
sorry for everybody.
I'm looking forward to when it happens. Now I want it to happen just for your purposes. So February is looking like that's when it gets really stacked. Really, really stacked. That's when it becomes fun and interesting, right? By then, those who have played the multiplayer, the single player of Halo, maybe it has died down a little bit by then. Who knows? But here we go. Life is Strange Remastered. It's a good series for those who like it. I've played through some of them. It's been all right. Dying Light 2. Has Dying Light 2 kind of outshined itself? It's been in the conversation for so long. They've been supporting Dying Light 1 for so long. It looks like finally Dying Light 2, after all those many delays, it looks like Dying Light 2 is actually coming. What do we think?
I think it should be in Game Pass.
On pre-order.
It probably will be in Game Pass at some point.
Yeah,
I don't do
that. I think February is the wrong month. They should if it's not ready for January, they should hold it for March. And
I will say I can't like be sure, but I will take a good bet that of the game in all of February's lists here, Dying Light 2 is the game that has been delayed the most.
Yes.
Like 100%. delay after delay after. So if anyone should move, it should be all of them versus it.
But they're not.
It is out of its delay quota at this point.
They could last another month. Who like listen. Here's the thing, and I said this when Saints Row got delayed. That's the first domino to fall. Half these games aren't coming out in February, but we'll see.
We will see. We will see. Definitely. So for me, looking at this list right here, the only one that I will literally be there day one, I will be all in, is Horizon Forbidden West. I have the special edition pre-ordered. I am a Horizon stan. I love that game. I know some people had problems with a lot of the RPG elements and the talking and the way they did it. It really reminded me of the Fallout method a little bit, like back in the day, how they used to do it. But then, of course, you add cool-ass robots and a bow. If you add a bow and arrow in any game, you got me. Like I love silent sniping, and that game was awesome about all of that stuff. Part 2 looks to be bigger, badder, better. So I'm there for it day one. I'm very, very excited to play it. Anybody else on here like a Horizon fan? I know Everborn, you were saying you need to put 1 through its paces first, right?
Yes.
How about you, Dutch?
Yeah, there's 3 games on that list that I'm gonna get. It is Dying Light 2, Horizon Forbidden West, and Martha is Dead.
No Elden Ring?
I heard about that. No
Elden Ring for me. Nope.
Yeah, I'm looking.
What is Martha is Dead? I thought that was like.
It was meant to be originally. It was meant to be PlayStation exclusive. Then it changed and it was Xbox exclusive. Then it changed and now it's multi-plat.
Okay, yeah, that's what that's how it's. I thought last I heard it was an Xbox.
It changed lots of suitors at this point.
Yes, yeah.
Now it's everything.
Okay, are we? What vibes are we getting? Are we getting like Resident Evil type vibes? Are we getting what is this? What can we expect?
It's more akin to kind of more of a story that you'll get in kind of the medium.
Okay.
So it's more of a horror
which did
thriller.
its thing.
Hopefully it's not the same tank controls.
No, not the same tank controls.
Yeah, hopefully they leave all that in the bushes. As they
First
say.
Martha is Dead.
Okay.
All right.
Now,
so,
looking in this February list right here, it doesn't look like there's much.
No, there's
definitely
Sifu,
Horizon.
Sifu,
I totally forgot about that.
Forbidden West and Elden Ring.
Yes.
Those are the heavy hitters for February.
So it looks like February is when I will start dusting off my PS5 because I'm definitely playing Sifu. I'm definitely playing Forbidden West.
Tell you what, I'm not playing the Witch Queen.
Yeah, I suspect the Witch Queen will come to Game Pass as all of their others tend to come to Game Pass. So actually, you know me, I love playing the campaigns. I might play that campaign.
Leaving Game Pass at the moment is all of Destiny 2.
Ooh, I have not paid attention in a while. So Destiny 2's out there, huh?
Destiny 2
interesting.
Is leaving.
Yep. When is it leaving? The end of this year? It's done here?
I'll let you know. 2 seconds.
Interesting. See, so then maybe the Witch Queen will not be on Game Pass. That is interesting. And of course, we leave it to Slow-Mo to drop what we're all saying in our heads. Well, no, not true. I play. Believe it or not, that my Xbox Museum thing that came out showed me that I'm more of a Destiny player than I think. It's on my top lists of games I've played a lot of. Because I like that moment to moment jump in there, that Bungie style,
I have over 500 hours.
Yeah,
I think,
me too.
In Destiny.
Yeah, leaving soon section on console, Destiny 2.
Oh wow,
Destiny 2 Forsaken, Shadow Light and Beyond Light.
There you go.
Shadowkeep and Beyond Light.
But even then,
I probably will not be.
Halo 3 is my most played game on all of Xbox.
And welcome, good sir. You know when the slander's out, Neo's up in the spot. Hey, welcome, good sir.
I listen. The king is dead. Long live the king. Here comes Halo Infinite to take you away because you only went to Destiny because Halo wasn't there for you. But now Halo done fixed his credit. You know what I'm saying? He got a job. He's ready to be a man and own up to his responsibilities. Right? He's not that kid anymore. But we
are hitting new heights here. So real quick, we're hitting new heights here. We have over 40 people in our chat, watching live and in our chat. We appreciate you guys watching. Please hit that like button. Give us some feedback. Share it out to some friends if you're appreciating this content. We appreciate you guys so much. This is so awesome to be able to have a conversation with the community and so much of you.
Make sure you subscribe because he needs to ask for that a bit more. Hit the subscribe button.
I need to hit that button. Okay. Hit the subscribe button, please. I apologize. I'm not good at all this stuff. Forgive me. So I will say though, Elden Ring is intriguing. Of all the FromSoft games, I see this as the Batman Begins of its genre because this is kind of Breath of the Wild like if you see the gameplay footage. It's very Breath of the Wild like, only done in real hardcore griminess.
From what I've seen from the gameplay clips, it seems they've made like a Souls type game that is more approachable, at least a little more approachable to the casual audience that has me intrigued. So I don't know if you want to
Doesn't mean
call
I'm
that
buying it
dumbing
day
it
one.
down.
Well, they're making it more approachable.
Yes.
You know.
And
Doesn't mean
that
it's
is
a day
exciting
one
to me.
cop for me, but hey, you know, if there's ever been a time for me to try it out, now is the time. You know, we shall see. What is this Elix 2?
I think
No idea.
Elden Ring is going to be a March play for me, right? So if I'm doing Horizon in February, March is going to be Elden Ring.
Okay, so you're actually going to put it. You're going to play it.
I'm going to play it. Yes. Now I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I'm going to play it.
Well, that's a whole different thing. Hey, look at THQ Nordic out here trying to flex some muscle. All right, so they're actually putting a new game out. Interesting. They're usually like they leverage a lot of the old IPs that they bought. So this should be interesting, and obviously it's coming to everything. It looks like it's a Halo-like game, but it's a one player. Interesting. I haven't really heard too much about this game, but I guess as the time progresses, we will see and hear probably more about it. Okay. So, and then of course, as Slow-Mo put it, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Now that is in March.
What is that?
How
game?
big do we? It is basically an offshoot of Borderlands. It's an offshoot of Borderlands. And it's got the Borderlands style, but it's also doing. It's not doing your regular shooter thing. I think it's doing more like a turn-based. There's it's.
I don't.
Yeah,
care.
It's got a lot more.
At all. Yeah. Not even a little bit.
Couldn't care less.
There you go. So there you go. There, Slow-Mo. They don't care. But
I was about to look for it at like a YouTube video at a trailer, and then you said Borderlands and turn-based. I was like, no.
Don't sleep on Borderlands. It's got a name. It's literally what's keeping Drinkbox alive these days. No. I think I chose the wrong. Hold on. Gearbox. Forgive me. Gearbox. Yeah, it's what's keeping them afloat. So we shall see. And then, of course, we have Stalker 2.
Woohoo!
And it's the only thing in April. Right
well, here's the thing. I think April is an open slot for some of the February games that may delay themselves. And maybe that's a good month for Left 4 Dead 2 to... Not Left 4 Dead. What's it called? What's the February game? I see it. I don't care. I'm not playing it.
I just love doing
Dying Light 2.
Dying Light 2, yeah. But let me ask you a question, because we still don't have a date for Crossfire X. Is
we don't.
April the right month to drop that?
Interesting. It is a wide open field at this point.
And
it is. Yeah.
And
that's surprising.
What about?
We still don't have a date for Crossfire X.
Do we have a date for Scorn?
No.
It was delayed, but what was it delayed to? I could have sworn they actually said a date. Am I wrong? I don't know if anybody knows.
It is 2022. I can't remember when they said in 22.
Yeah.
And what about Exomecha?
Exomecha, like people put a lot on Exomecha. I suspect when Exomecha comes out, and this is just my thoughts on it, it'll probably be a novelty and it won't last long. It's a free to play. It's a free-to-play game, which will eventually end up everywhere. It just happens to start on Xbox.
And as Beast
it'll
Mode
be on PlayStation.
When does Atomic Heart come out?
Yeah, Atomic Heart. I've been pining for Atomic Heart for a long time, and they've been showing media like footage, like full hour gameplay for that game since 2018.
2022.
Yeah. Well, let's look through this list, and I have a few more like lists pulled together. Maybe we'll find it in others. In a Forza like Motorsport and Horizon world, is Test Drive and anything like that have any shot at all? What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's a little bit of a shot because a lot of people, like specifically on PlayStation, who want an open world driving game. Test drives, drive is 100% your thing.
When is A Plague's Tale 2?
They also haven't put. They just said 2022. They haven't put a date to it. A lot of these don't have a date. The only one that actually has a date from Xbox specifically is old Starfield, November 11th. They did that Babe Ruth
thing. It's weird. Redfall wasn't on this list.
They said summer 2022.
No, but it's not on this list.
I suspect that a lot of these at the bottom here that don't have actual dates. That's where I was heading towards the bottom. Yeah. So see, It will be there.
This is where it
this
starts
is the
getting
2022
busy
list.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't know where all of these will fall, but they will all fall somewhere within the 2022 list. And there you go. You have your Plague Tale, right?
Avatar,
A Quiet Place,
Frontiers
as in based on the game, the show, the movie. I'm sorry.
What are you talking about? Avatar? Oh, Quiet. Oh, interesting. I guess so.
There's an adventure game for A Quiet Place.
I'm not big on movie-based games.
Neither am I, but I will say that
for me.
Yeah, I'm actually going to play that as well. I
am going to wait for you guys to play that to tell me if it's worth any salt.
I mean, I think it's worth the try because those who made these put a lot of emphasis on technology and on pushing boundaries. So that's worth its weight, at least in attempting to see where it goes. I don't think that they'll just throw something out there just for folks to see, we just threw it out there. They'll at least try.
A big Disney IP like Avatar.
Yep. I think they'll at least try, and I'll be there to see it.
Oh, we are going to get Gotham Knights in 2022, so I'm interested in that.
Yes, we will.
Yes, and I don't think Suicide Squad's coming next year.
Gotham Knights should be in here. There it is, Gotham Knights. Yes, it's in here. See, so a lot of the real games we're looking forward to don't have announced dates in 2022, so that's why they're all in the limbo space right here. So let's see here. And there are a lot of multiplats, right? Astroneer, this game just will not die. I bought this on PC a long time ago.
Out? Is it out?
Chorus, that's another game that has no date. Does it? I don't think it has a date. And it's
I know you can download it now. At least
you can download. I don't know
if it's out. Yeah,
I did not even know that. Good to know. I did not know that. Well, it will come on PC and a few other places too. Am I mistaken?
It's just multiplat, right?
Yeah. But is it multiplat day one, or does that mean Microsoft just has a marketing deal with them? Because that's where it was announced first, right, on their stage.
Yeah, but PlayStation showed it also, I think.
Okay. So it will just come out everywhere. All right. So we'll not spend too much time digging through all of these, but I just kind of wanted to see the list and see if anybody sees anything that's like, hey, it should be on the list. Where is it coming out? Like, Diablo Immortal. Nah.
There's that other game, Dokev. I don't know if it's even
Dokev.
Yeah,
Dokev. Yeah.
Uden Chronicles Rising, and the other Uden Chronicles. I'll be picking that up as well.
Yeah. So on the point of Dokev, the team that makes that game, I forget the name of the team. They have an MMO that they're making. I know that Beast Mode is in here. He might have it for us. He always comes with the great data. Let me real quick do a quick search and see if I can find it, because they have another game that's super interesting, far more interesting. Now, don't get me wrong, Decay came out and was announced and really like raised some eyebrows for right reasons, right? But they have another game, I think it's called Element 8 or something like that, where it's like, the best way I can describe it is like almost Matrix-like. You have, and it's also an MMO, and the graphics are just, yes, Pearl Abyss. Thank you, good sir, Pearl Abyss. Their next real, like, next level game that they're planning on releasing looks super interesting. I put a video of it. Plan 8 is what it's called. Plan 8. I put a video of their next game on my Twitter, and people were just like, "Wow, what is this game? I can't believe." It is so crazy looking, next level nuts. Like, graphically, it's like, okay, the next gen has arrived. I don't know if you guys have actually paid attention, and it's the same engine as Decay, like super hyper realism. Like, it is very, very, very interesting looking. So
yeah,
actually, you know what?
I'm looking at Chorus on the Xbox store, and it says December 3rd.
December 3rd. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me play this real quick. Hopefully we don't get demonetized or whatever. Oh yeah, it's kind of crappy looking, but as you can see, just look at the and let me turn down the quality, so maybe that'll stop the graphics.
This is like the third person over the shoulder shooter, right?
Yes, same Decay engine, but it just looks astronomical. Like you're just like, yo, and the ideas, it is phenomenal. And this is supposedly also coming in 2022.
Looking next gen. This is
It
what I'm
is
talking about.
phenomenal. Like insane when you see and the faces of the people. It's almost like this is the idea, the vibes I got when I also started watching the videos for Atomic Heart. Same idea, but these guys seem to have it a lot more detailed. Look at the detailed artwork. I know it might be a little choppy on there. You know, if you guys haven't had a chance to look up Plan 8, look up the trailer for Plan 8. Man, graphics, the way the and supposedly all this is in game. Like it's not just cutscene after cutscene. All this is actual in-game assets, and they've demoed it a few times. People are flying all over the place. The ideas on display and the graphic output that they use to express it. Wow! Like I'm so psyched for this. There's a scene where like look at this dude's face, like the strands of hair and the. I don't know if Slow-Mo is still in here. He's really big on hair, like hair in games. It looks like they've actually spent the time and done it right in this one. But of course, we haven't seen any black people here. We shall see. We shall see. But yes, if you haven't had a chance to check this out, you definitely should. But this is also coming out in 2022. So, all right. Before we round up this episode, because we're almost about 2 hours in, which we'll button this up really nice and tight. I kind of wanted to scrub through this list real quick on this side and see if there was anything that we may have missed, because you know some channels have more than others do. Chorus, there you go. That's the reason why it's not on the 2022 list. It's coming out in December 3rd. That's probably why you can download it.
Is it going to be on PlayStation?
Nope.
I'm not sure.
No, it's not.
No, it does say so. It does say so. Look, it says, and this is IGN's list. They could be wrong, but it says Chorus.
No. I'm looking at it right now. For Chorus, the pre-order bundle on the PlayStation Store also says available December 3rd. So it's going to be a multiplayer.
Okay, so it is definitely coming. And looking for Forspoken. January. See, this is why I brought up the old list from them, because some might be missing here. Forspoken looks like it's coming in January. So
I don't think.
It could just be a placeholder.
Definitely not January. Definitely.
Yeah, and we've already also seen footage. We've also seen some artwork that suggests that it will eventually also come to Xbox. That you can even buy it on the PlayStation on the Xbox store. You can see that they have achievements in Xbox Live achievements. Which
is it still a 2-year exclusive?
I wouldn't think so if they already have the placeholder for it in the Xbox store with achievements and blah blah blah. Like, there's no way they would leave place for that thing there if it was coming 2 years later. It'd be a waste of space for 2 years, right? So I suspect that's probably what's going on here. So let's see here real quick. Let me see if we miss a few other things, because let's see. Yeah, Human, Sifu, Elden Ring. Are we sure the Gran Turismo 7 is coming in March 7th or March 4th? Is that really?
Yeah, what I'm not sure is if Ragnarok is coming in 2022.
Really? Why would you not be sure of that? I mean, it's not like they're rebuilding the engine. It's basically their Miles Morales from God of War.
I know. I'm just saying it's going to be a very big game. They said it's going to be a larger game than
but using existing assets.
I know, but it still takes time to put together that narrative.
Oh, no, I get that. I get that. I guess the reason why I'm pushing back on that is... Go ahead.
We have not, at this stage, when all we have is that one trailer.
Yeah.
When we got that first trailer for Horizon, how long did it take before we actually got the game?
Well, but that was a different world, bro. That was pre-pandemic when
I know. I'm just saying. Is there any world where it slips to early 2023?
I would be surprised.
Does anybody believe
if it did that? I would be surprised. I'd be surprised if it was a new game, because if I'm not mistaken, Ragnarok is still on PS4. They're really reusing the assets. Yes, they're adding more to it. I'm not denying that, but they're not starting from jump. They're starting from completed game already. Adding more to it. So if it doesn't hit the date, I would be surprised, personally.
Why don't we have a launch month yet?
Because, everything's up in the air.
What about a launch season?
Hey, maybe Xbox has been taking so much of the air out of the room that my PlayStation hasn't felt the need to drop their hot bags out there just yet.
Okay.
Maybe they need to wait. Hey, because every time they drop something, people go, "Shut up! We're talking about Halo. Shut up!" Every time they drop new news, like even with Horizon, which is literally on their way, people just go, "Get out of here!" What happened with this new Halo map, right? So maybe they're looking for an opportunity to.
Maybe it does come out and Horizon and Ragnarok are just their sort of Ratchet and Returnal. They're two juggernaut releases for the year. Okay. But maybe it's GTA and Horizon and God of War comes out early next year. I don't know. GTA just saying. 5. I feel like it
shouldn't even be on anybody's list anymore. It should be a press release.
But guess what? You have a month for that. You know that it's coming out in March, right? And you know that this thing's coming out in February. Why don't we have that for Ragnarok?
No, I agree with you. Your questioning of it, I completely understand, but I would still be surprised if it doesn't show up. I would just genuinely be surprised if it doesn't. So
maybe they want to hit us with another 2018 where you got God of War and Spider-Man. Just saying, Ragnarok and Spider-Man 2.
Now that's the question. See, you are questioning will God of War show up? I'm questioning when we'll see the next Spider-Man, like the next full Spider-Man. Now, again, this is Insomniac, and they are able to turn water into wine. So that's just them.
Every faith that Insomniac will drop that game. Now
they're able to turn water into wine for sure.
Does anybody have is Suicide Squad on that TBA list?
I don't see it. No,
Why
I don't.
Is that?
Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. Yeah,
and you know, it's the Elephant
Squad, Hogwarts Legacy, and Avatar are my 3 multiplats for next year.
I was just about to say Hogwarts Legacy, and why haven't we talked about that for 2022? It's there, but I feel like we kind of missed it, right? So
it wasn't on that initial list we were looking at.
I'm looking forward to that. To be fair, we haven't seen a
so am I.
Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to play with Gollum.
Nah.
Yeah.
I've seen that game. It's more like not even a thief. Do you know Styx? The old game Styx, STYX.
Yes. I have a few.
That looks identical to that, like that kind
Styx,
of gameplay.
Yes.
And it's
not my thing. Yeah. I believe it or not, I am actually excited for this remake. When their first showing wasn't great. But I'm excited to go back to that world.
Understatement, Asante.
I
wasn't
know.
Great.
But you know why? But think about it. It's because it's by an Indian developer, an actual Indian developer. They've never done this AAA stuff before. They took the advice.
Don't discredit them.
There's a level of
no. This is their first shot. They said so. They've never made this. This is them taking their big shot. This is like them getting an IP that's within their realm.
Though, because it was a Ubisoft remake.
Yeah.
From a company perspective, for a first showing to a franchise that is that historic and embedded in your IP catalog, you do not do.
I kind of hate Assassin's Creed because it ate this game's lunch. I kind of hate Assassin's Creed for that, but because I loved even the newer the Sands of Time, all those very. I was so there for that, and then of course they did that cel shaded art style thing that totally tanked the brand, and ever since it's been quiet. I hope since they took the time and they went away, this was supposed to come out like a while ago, but then they pushed it back indefinitely for a while, and it's still TBD, right? I hope when it comes out, it lives up to its shine because that brand deserves it. I think specifically the Sands of Time, that's when I really got invested in Prince of Persia. I played the old 2D side scroller Prince of Persia, jump over the little spikes thing. When they started introducing the time mechanic and all of that, I was there for it. That's when I was in the height of my gaming days, so I have very fond memories of it. So I hope it comes back. So before we go, let's take a quick look at some Switch stuff. Because I said we would look at some Nintendo stuff. Let's look at some Nintendo stuff. Because I really want to see what Nintendo has to offer for 2022 and beyond. Do we think when do we think Breath of the Wild is dropping? And that's for you there, Everborn. I don't know if you're muted.
Yes. I think it's going to drop in 2024 alongside the Switch Pro.
2024? Wasn't it rumored to come out next year?
So was the Switch Pro.
That's true. That's true. See, and see, Dying Light Stay Human, specifically the Cloud Edition, is coming in February.
The Cloud
So,
Edition. Okay.
yeah. So you and Dying Light now you can play like they're actually what was it? Control. You can play the Cloud Edition on the Switch. That whole cloud thing is becoming a thing.
What's the tech that's powering that?
It's bespoke. I think they haven't really spoken about it. There is no real back end to it. Like there is a back end, but we're not allowed to know. You know, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's AWS, something like that, because everybody seems to be pushing in that direction. Maybe I'll dig around and see if I can find it.
Jesus Christ! Instead of making some competent hardware, they have to release games solely through the cloud. What a joke!
Oh, stop it! Don't clown them like that. That's not cool, bro. No.
Oh,
do we know when Shredder's Revenge is coming? Because I want that game in my life, and I need it immediately.
That is my most anticipated game in 2022. If I'm telling you the truth, I wish it wasn't only on the Switch. But it's
not only on the Switch. What are you talking about?
I think it's also coming to Game Pass, bro. Right? Are you sure?
But it's coming to Game Pass. It's
but later on,
to Game Pass.
Nobody's trying to wait for it to come to Game Pass. What's wrong with you? For Turtles?
What is it? Hyper Funk? What is that successor to Jet Set Radio that's coming in 2022?
I don't know, but it's not Jet Set Radio. So
no, it's not. But it's the artists from Jet Set Radio, the musicians from Jet Set Radio, even the gameplay is Jet Set Radio. It is Jet Set Radio by a different name. It's like Bomb Funk Future or whatever. It's a very unusual name that it's hard to remember. But that's also coming in 2022, and I'm excited for that as well. That's also Game Pass. See, so if you notice,
I'll try it in the cloud to see if it's worth downloading.
I'm looking forward to that game. It looks really, really cool. Has this game lost its shine? Ali World. I played the first two, and I really enjoyed it on Switch. Have you guys ever played that? It's like a side-scrolling skateboarding game.
Oh, I haven't played that. I've seen it, but I haven't played it.
It's very interesting. It's actually harder than you'd think. It's very difficult to really get your your brain around it. But I actually really enjoyed playing that game. Let's see. So yeah, I see some of the repeat offenders here. It doesn't really look like there's that much coming for them. Well, those who are knee deep in the Switch ecosystem really will be excited for that game. I'm sure. I'm for a bunch of these games. So I shouldn't besmirch the name of the Nintendo Switch, but I do agree with you, Everborn, that the whole thing is becoming a little long in the tooth. So it's time they start really pushing some hardware out there.
All right.
And I'm not talking about the OLED.
Here we go. What's upcoming for the Xbox? Whatever. Okay, let's see.
Yes. So this is November.
List.
Let's see the 2022 list. Actually, you know what? Stop hating. Let's see the December list real quick. The Gunk.
All I read was Halo Infinite. Sorry, I can't see anything else. It's
Chorus and The Gunk, as well as Halo Infinite. All right. January.
Halo Infinite.
Extraction. No, thank you. Halo Infinite. Yes. February.
You should push Chorus and The Gunk to January because it's light.
No, I think The Gunk should come out. I think The Gunk should come out because not everybody's playing Halo Infinite. Not everybody will play Halo Infinite. I'll play The Gunk with my kids.
I'm just saying everybody will play The Gunk in January because there'll be a lull.
Sure. And that's fine. And it looks like February is not that huge, at least not on their list. Look at this.
All right, but this is just what you can get on the platform. Okay, so
yeah.
You got Dying Light 2. This is old, so Dying Light 2 is still on there. But oh, is Dying Light 2? No, Dying Light 2. That announcement didn't happen.
It's still in February. Okay. Yeah, it's still in February.
For now,
it still says this man. He's suggested it to himself and then convinced himself right away that it's getting delayed.
Well, honestly though, February 4th. Does give them. I mean, that's only going to give them 2 weeks on on Horizon. So I guess.
Then we have
Elden
March.
Ring. Don't forget Elden Ring. On the 25th.
Yeah, but Elden Ring's a known commodity at this point. We shall see. I'm excited to see what the game does. I hope it brings more people in. Who knows if it will or not? It may just be too damn difficult again, and people just going to touch it and then move off.
Stranger of Paradise.
Stranger of Paradise.
Final Fantasy.
I have no
Origins.
idea. Yeah, okay.
So is that the Final Fantasy? Okay, I guess. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
I guess.
it's not your Final Fantasy of choice.
Okay.
Where's the
Oh, look.
remake there,
Grand
Square?
Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, indeed. Stalker 2.
There we go. Now we're
April.
getting interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Are you going to play the new Saints Row?
Absolutely not. Don't care.
Why not? You don't care. Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
I can't blame you.
No reason. I just don't care.
I can't blame you. All right, now real quick, let's scroll through this here. Avowed TBD, Atomic Heart TBD.
Let's go.
Arc 2. Shout out to Vin Diesel. TBD.
Is he going to be wearing a white wife beater that never gets dirty?
No,
he just jumped away from
you've seen the trailers for
car?
that thing. You've seen the trailers for that thing. He's not wearing a wife beater.
It's not too late. We haven't seen the whole
Crossfire game. X TBD.
There we go.
Right. Contraband TBD.
Echo Generation is already out. So when was this list made?
Bright Memory Infinite. That's surprising that it's on PC, but they still have not announced the date for console yet. That's surprising. And it's a short game too, but okay. Then again, it's also one developer with a bunch of help. So
how much of this is Microsoft is just kind of like they believe anyway, whether this is true or not, that they believe that Game Pass is strong enough that they don't have to lock down dates because it doesn't matter when these things come out. They just come when they're ready.
I mean, look at the evidence, right? They almost and the reports are different depending on who you ask, but they almost scratched 30 without any real quote unquote bangers, right? So Game Pass is strong by that metric, right? Before they even dropped Halo Infinite or anything else in there, they hit almost 30 million subscribers. So that could lend credence to what you're talking about right there, right? They're like, we don't need to lock anything down. People are already in there. They know the value. Right.
Interesting.
And then when they drop that virtual retro console of all Dreamcast games in there,
there we go.
Then all of a sudden they won't even need to release anything else because everybody will just be playing Dreamcast all the damn time.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. I'm trying to tell you people. You guys don't want to listen.
Oh boy, here we go. All right, so a few more. Let's see here. Echo Generation, isn't that already out?
That's already out.
Yeah. Oh, so it's 2021. I guess this needs to be updated a little bit. Let's see, the Unit Chronicles Rising. Both of these were set to be coming to Game Pass day one. So there you go. Everwild, that is still being kind of like chopped and screwed.
2027.
Well, you don't know. Like supposedly the game itself is built, but now they need to find the gameplay loop and the elements and stuff. So
I have a feeling it's not going to be a straight action game. You're going to be like
I doubt
be like
that
a farming game. You're going to learn to use magic and oh boy.
And then we have Fable. Boy. Do we think Fable comes in 2022?
Absolutely not. No chance. Listen,
no chance.
As we've said before, 2022 is going to be Bethesda's year. So there's a world where maybe we get a surprise Wolfenstein announcement. But they are going to bring Redfall, Starfield, and Deathloop to the Xbox ecosystem next year. You add that with Motorsport, and you've got their 4 AAA titles for the year. And 2023 is when you're going to start to see things like Avowed, Fable, and whatever else is ready.
Okay. Star Ocean, by the way.
Go ahead. The great thing about Xbox and going forward is the fact that they have so much on the list already. Is they can decide whenever they choose to drop whatever is in there that is they feel is in the best state possible to release. If they think any of these games in this to be decided category need to be pushed back, then they have fallback of what we now know is 40 games because they have 23 confirmed and 17 projects that are unconfirmed. Wow.
So yeah, there's just too much coming at the same time. So we shall see. It may very well be fully done and dusted, and they're just like, well, we'll leave this on the shelf while these others shine. Although we've also seen them go, screw it. Forza's doing well. Let's smack them in the face with Halo Infinite. Smack.
It
right? So they may just drop it like it's hot.
It didn't slow them down at all. Forza.
No, not at all. Not at all. The Forza crowd is still out there.
That's the thing where you should be like the deck is stacked or the fight is fixed. Where they had Forza a juggernaut out there, and then they were like, "Yeah, so what? Take this Halo because we got so much going on."
Backhand with the Halo. All right. Now, Somerville. Do you guys remember Somerville?
That's the pixel art game,
tremendous.
Right?
It's not necessarily pixel art. It's not pixel art. This is from the people who made Inside and Limbo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. It's
got
basically
the art style more of that. I've forgotten the name of it as well. There was that kind of fist fight version of a kind of FromSoft game where you had to. That came out on Xbox. I've forgotten the name of the game actually.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about as well. And they didn't have faces.
I know exactly what you're talking about. But the name escapes me. I see it. Yeah,
it's the same kind of art style used in Somerville.
Yep. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Here's my hot take. I'm tired of State of Decay. I know people love it.
You know what it is about State. I can understand you saying you're tired of the previous State of Decay, but I think this version, State of Decay 3, with I mean, they've got over 100 people working.
That's when they finally break it.
They've also got like Clobrill put a post up today, I think it was, talking about a new addition to the team as well that is very experienced. I think it's going to be in a different, and it's definitely going to be a AAA State of Decay 3.
Love when Pixel Bit G makes himself known. Boo this man. Boo.
Yes, Ashen. That's the one. Pyro got it. Ashen, yes.
There you go. And it had awesome fight choreography in that game as well.
So,
I really
so do we think that State of Decay could potentially be COGS Just One, or is it too much like a service?
I think State of Decay 3 could end up being what and hear me out here. Could end up being what Days Gone wanted to be.
That's a sick burn right there, bro. That's a sick burn.
It is. I think specifically with the way that
care to elaborate, sir.
Yeah, I think specifically with the way that Microsoft are allowing their teams to put in their just time and development, basically backing them to the hilt on each and every project. You need something, we will give it to you. Look at Ninja Theory; they've built a brand new studio.
Oh yeah, if you guys haven't checked that out, y'all should check out the video for that. The studio is state of the art. They're like giving you a tour. It's just amazing.
It's insane. Absolutely insane. The Days Gone wanted the backing. That team there at Gorilla, not Gorilla. Forgot the name of them now. But that team, what the hell is the name of the studio?
State of the Case team. Yeah, and their director left not too long ago.
Was that Undead Labs?
No, not State of Decay. Days Gone. They're bloody studio.
Oh, Days Gone. Isn't it? It's not Santa Monica. What's Days Gone? Let me check real quick. Days Gone devs. This we're talking about. Come on now. What's the name of the devs for Days Gone? Somebody in the chat, please provide us some Days Gone devs. Bend. Sony Bend.
Thank you.
Sony Bend. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Pixel. Thank you. We're like, yes,
but Ben really wanted the complete support and backing from Sony, and they wanted to progress with it's their first new IP.
Yeah, they wanted to keep it moving. Yeah,
so
and they wanted to keep it moving and improve on their previous one. And their previous one wasn't bad. It was good. It was a good first IP, and it needed a little bit more support for the second one. Yeah, and Sony simply looked at sales and went, "You didn't hit the sales marker. You didn't hit the Metacritic marker, so it's a no-go. Goodbye." Yeah. Xbox, on the other hand, are looking at them. Did State of Decay 1 hit? No, it wasn't. It was completely niche. And it was a really nice game. State of Decay 2, it did a little bit better, but did that hit the mark as it wanted to? No. It took quite a while. Right now, State of Decay 2 is in the best place it ever has been. And they've only just kept improving it, which was awesome, specifically with the Juggernaut edition, bringing out the Series X and S enhancements and really making it fleshed out. And Xbox have said, yeah, go on, make State of Decay 3 and you can hire as many people as you need to get it done. You've got the tools. We've got all these other studios that can help you. Just make whatever you want to make out of that game. And the trailer for it specifically tells me that they're not focusing specifically on the big kind of building a community kind of segment on this one. They're looking more towards a narrative.
Yeah, you're right. I see that. I do see that. You're right, and that may fulfill that need that Bend was heading towards.
A true zombie.
And I'm actually playing
horror.
through that now. I'm playing through Ben's game now, and I actually like it. You know, I think it's pretty good.
The only thing I disliked
an hour or so
Days
I'm into.
Gone, the only thing I disliked about Days Gone was the silly moments where you come across the security forces and you can't do anything other than sneak.
Yeah, I hate when they take the control away from you.
You can't do anything. You just sneak around, and if you get
we're talking about Plague's Tale.
No. Plague's Tale is all sneak. Calm down. So, am I the only one? And this is real quick. We're I want to make sure we give all of them their just desserts. Am I the only one who is still looking forward to Stray, that little cat game? It was showed off at the PlayStation event, and
yes,
it looked really interesting.
It's only you. It's just you.
It's only me.
Just you.
Well, all right then. Fuzzy, welcome to the mix. We appreciate you joining and checking us out, good sir. So, all right, we'll move along then with that, because I saw Stray and I thought, hey, that's interesting. And then, of course, we have Ghostwire Tokyo, which was supposed to be 2021, right? But then it was pushed to 2022, which means it'll come out on Xbox 2023.
Which is when I'll play it.
Which is when you'll play it, of course.
That's the backlog.
And I guess
I blame the backlog.
And I guess Bugsnax did enough of work that they're getting a whole new update, which I'm surprised as hell about, but okay.
Are they counting the next gen update for Witcher 3 in this list?
Let's see, where is it?
They did the same for Cyberpunk the other day as well.
Right below Star Wars.
On the other list.
Oh, right below Star Wars. Yeah, I see it. Witcher 3, yeah, PS5. Yep, you're right.
An interesting addition to this list.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is. It's the same game, only cleaned up. Okay. Yeah, that seems like they're padding the numbers a little bit on that one, in my opinion. So, okay. This is all PlayStation centric. So, is there anything in here? Is there anything in here that we're just like, yo, this is going to be amazing? Like, I see a lot of third parties, as we do in all the other lists.
Spider-Man and KOTOR.
My thing is, specifically when I look at PlayStation things, specifically these kind of lists, I'm only looking at the first party. And if you have a look down that list, how many of those are first party?
Yeah, me too. I'm really focused on the first party aspects of it. And I don't know, man. I don't see anything that really like jumps out at me that makes me go, yay, I need to play this, And let's be honest, for those who may not be aware, I will play the multi-plats on PlayStation, on Xbox, because I'm more confident that if they move to the next gen consoles, I'll still be able to play them. PlayStation has a tendency to, cut bait and make you want to pay again for the same game you used to own. So unless it's only on PlayStation, I usually play it on Xbox because, they'll let me keep playing 50 Cent Blood in the Sand, even though it's a 360 game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've proven themselves that way. So
I think
that's why I do that.
I definitely think, like, to your earlier point, I think that this will go for both consoles. Like, now that we're in this world of x86, I think going forward, worrying about backwards compatibility is, I think, going to be a thing of the past. I do find it weird with the weird, like, saves transferring over to PS5. Like, they got to solve that. But apart from that, I don't think there'll be compatibility.
But there you go. You just made my point for me. Because Microsoft was so infrastructure focused from jump, that was never a problem. And PlayStation is now getting to the world of infrastructure.
None of it makes sense.
It makes perfect sense to me. They don't have the infrastructure. They leave it to the developer to come up with their own methods. That's why some of them saves easy. Others, you need to download to the latest version, then you need to upload your save, and then you need to play the PS5 version, and then download your save, because there is no established rules of the road that Xbox established in 360 days. And that's why they're getting there now. They're pushing there now. And to your point, x86 makes the world a lot easier for them. But even to that, in that world, they're kind of pushed off to the side because PlayStation is using bespoke tools while Microsoft is now going, oh, by the way, our development platform that we insist everyone uses, which is DirectX based, yeah, by the way, it makes creating an Xbox game. Yeah, you click that button, and now you're developing for Xbox as well.
Well, which is what's going to happen with the Sega Super game, but that's neither here nor there. Y'all don't want to listen.
Sega.
But
Sega drop.
The thing that I will say is a lot of this comes down to business models, and when you move your focus away from the box. And again, you say the content comes to the consumer and not the other way around.
Yes,
instead of the consumer coming to the content. When you're not solely focused around a box, your priorities become different. So the focus on seamless transitions from generation to generation and the backlog being a major driver for you, because as the backlog or as the catalog grows, then the ecosystem becomes more valuable because again, the console is only one endpoint. So when the console is the main driver because you use it to control an ecosystem in which you can sell third-party software, and your first-party software, maybe you will take a loss. And I know they're allegedly selling the consoles at a profit now, but you invest hundreds of millions of dollars into individual first-party IPs because it draws people in, and then you will sell them the microtransactions of Fortnite and COD and all those other things. So the business model is showing, I think, in what the focus is for each of the companies. So as your backlog grows, that will be a thing that will keep you in this ecosystem, and that is why you see the focus on being infrastructure based and having FPS boost and all those other things, because it only grows the value prop of what you're trying to do. Now, if the value prop is just the hardware, then you want to, you kind of have to kill the past. You're going to use it up front, but your expectation is that people aren't going to be playing the old games forever. As quoted by Jim Ryan, who wants to play old games, you're going to focus on the box and try to move people forward faster. And people think it's marketing speak, but it is actually the business plan. It is not a bug. It is a feature when Microsoft says we don't care when you upgrade. Because the goal is the subscription, and the goal is the content, and the engagement is not necessarily to sell you a box. And this is why it's weird to me that people keep fighting about how much this one sold and that one sold when they're not looking at the bigger picture.
They are people with different priorities. And they don't see the future in front of them. They're still beholden to that box, whether it be Xbox or PlayStation. They're all about that box. So because of that, it becomes one of those situations.
But they're about that box because they were told that.
Yes, and they are those who believe what they're told rather than doing their own research.
Yeah, some people are like Neo and Morpheus, just listening to the Oracle. I am here to be the Merovingian. And ask you to what end?
To what end? This is what brings you to me, good sir.
Causality,
anyways,
is all I'm talking about.
Yes,
that's what I'm.
So so we will round the bottom of this episode, and we will get into our outros. But you saying what you were saying reminded me of your amazing showing last week.
By the way, which, if you guys know what you mean.
This man, I won't even put it up on the screen. Stop it. So this will bring me to that amazing showing that you had last week. If people did not catch Mr. Everborn Saga taking over all of the YouTube communities, he was on Game Talk Live, which he had a great showing there, and then he was also on RDX, which I remember because Dealer was clowning you on how you pronounce the word console. But we'll move quickly along. I do recall that.
I thought I said it properly.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one later. I've been actually meaning to clown you about that for a long time because he's right. But okay. So, Mr. Dutch, it has been awesome having you on the show as usual. You know how we do. At this point, you are not a guest here, man. My PTG brethren, you show up when you feel like it. You know, the beers are in the fridge. You come, you take what you want. You show up whenever you feel like it. You've actually made this show better in many ways beyond just your presence. So we always appreciate you here, good sir. Tell the people where they can find you. You know, talk about the midweek mix-up and what else is going on in 2022. I know you guys got big things planned.
Yes, definitely. I'll start off with what's going on. So obviously the beginning of next year we'll be doing, well, there's 2 shows lined up for next year actually. The follow-up to the indie game show, so the second indie game show we're going to be doing in April. Of course, we'll be doing it bigger and better than we did last year. And of course, last year we had 2.5 hours.
I'm looking forward to that.
75 games and 3 developers involved, as well as giveaways throughout. So that'll be absolutely awesome to do that. So I'll be getting the community involved in that again. And we're also in January going to be doing a legitimate game award show by the community for the community. So everything's decided by
notice the legitimate part. Nice job there with the slander. Good job.
Which would mean the games that are eligible for the Game Awards will be between the 1st of January 21 and the 31st of December.
What a concept. Wow, the whole year?
Amazing concept.
No weird arbitrary cutoff date? Like, what? Nope. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Exactly. We've also got Mr. Badbit, Joe himself, that's going to be getting the cumulative list of PlayStation eligible games for this together, making sure that the PlayStation community is involved specifically with that. So at least we've got a legitimate list as well for PlayStation. The Xbox community will be, of course, drumming up the lists of games eligible for voting in that category. And also then Nintendo, I think, will be a mix of both sides trying to debate on the eligible titles, because the community in terms of Nintendo players on Twitter is either volatile or or hard to come by. So, but we'll be doing our best on that front. PC will also have a section included. We'll be whittling them down. So essentially, we'll do a big list of all the games that were released for both consoles. Those will be voted on. The top 5 out of each will then go into their own finals, which will, of course, then be voted on for their respective platform Game of the Years. And then we'll have that cumulative Game of the Year where each of the finalists from each category will go into the final of Game of the Year, whether that be PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, whatever it is. Those will be the finalists. And then that'll be community decided. Nothing to do with us. It'll go on to one of those nice big survey things, so everybody's votes are completely anonymous. We don't know the results. Well, I'll know the results.
You were speaking about Mr. Badbit. Shout out to him in the trophy room. I see they're doing their show as well, and they're doing similar. They're doing it really nice. I appreciate the way they're doing it. It's real cool. You know, I saw that. I was very impressed by them. So I'm happy that he'll be also part of the selection process that you're employing as well. So I have way more faith in this process than other processes that we have been seeing around the community.
And like I say, it'll be a nice big. You'll know it's a website called SurveyMonkey. Most employers use it to do internal kind of demographic things and feedback, etc. But that's what we'll be using to do this. We'll have a whole list of games on there in terms of what you would vote for your Game of the Year on each particular platform. You select your options there. And the best out of whatever you've selected for each platform, then it'll obviously whittle down into the final selection. So it'll be nice and easy. It'll be straightforward. It'll be decided by the communities for each. We will have no involvement in terms of decision making ourselves. It's simply down to the community and the general public.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And anyone who hears this, sees this later on, please let us support let us like stay focused and be very vocal about supporting it and sharing it out, because if you don't like how the powers that be do things, then you got to support these others as well, so that we can make sure that there are viable options, viable actual different differentiations. Because some of us out here, see Mr. Boomstick is trying to outdo me with the shine. We'll talk about that later, Boom. I got you. Check the DMs on Twitter.
Speaking of supporting independent endeavors, there are 9 days left in the Kickstarter.
Yes.
If you haven't supported it already, I just put the link in the chat. Please do. Check it out, because we're aiming towards a stretch goal where we want to get the actual official novel out to you. I'm talking about like a proper like chapter novel.
How far are we away from it? Are we getting there?
We are over 50%, right?
That's nice. Good.
So we can do it, and we most of what we did in the first 10 days. So these last 10 days, if we can finish the way we started, that is well within our reach. So if you haven't already, check that out, and check out the Everborn Saga channel. I probably wasn't my turn yet, but why not? Right?
No, speak, bro. We're here.
So if you also want to hear me and Kay Asante and sometimes guests go back and forth just like this on about movies and TV, we do that on my channel.
Arcane is going to be lit Thursday. We
still got to talk about King Richard and Master of the Universe Part 2. It's a lot going on.
True. There's a lot going on.
I don't know if we can get it all in one episode, so we're going to have to flip a coin for which one we're going to do first.
Yes, but you'll hear me be like, watch Arcane on that show as well, just so you know.
Exactly. And because of Bushido, Mr. Bushido, we're going to have to, at some point, do Invasion.
Yes, thank you. I was talking to him on Spaces yesterday about it. We were going crazy. We were like, yo, we got to get Everborn to finish this, even if it's just to talk about the frustrations. We got to finish it out. That's great.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to make that happen this week.
That is great.
And I am like 50 subs behind this young man who is 1 year older than me. But check and sub to that channel, because I will
sub to the Everborn Saga channel. Come on now, sub to the Everborn Saga channel. Throw the man a bone.
Yes, and hit the like button if you have not done so already.
Thank you.
Yes. And Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Really, Twitter, I'm always there, and obviously Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, all Everborn Saga, and everbornsaga.com. If you don't want to wait for the Kickstarter to be over, you can get books and merch right now. So. That is my.
So I appreciate you guys. Yes, thank you, Everborn. Thank you, Wandering Dutch. So for us, the Gaming Circle podcast, we're going to be going real big in 2022. I already have like conversations out with other groups who I think the community knows. We want to do some crossover stuff. We're gonna talk to a bunch of folks. We were planning on updating the logo, but I'm not happy with where it sits today. So we might you should
release it and get community feedback, man. Be like 343. I should release it and get
okay. You know what? I will do that on Twitter later today. I'll be like, what do y'all think of this? Don't mind the nails.
What do you think of the fingernails?
Don't mind the nails. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. I will put it out there, but I actually have a few other creators, like a few other artists looking at it right now, telling me potentially what feedback they could do and whatnot. We might keep it, we might move it, who knows. But we're growing the channel. I got a new mic, thanks to the wifey. Thank you. Got a new mic. We're setting up a different situation. The podcast situation is going to be ill in 2022, so we're here for it. I'm excited. I'm
till we get
energized.
OBS going.
Oh, that's the next thing. We're gonna go full bore on OBS, and then the stream quality will hopefully rise because of that. So we appreciate everyone who happens to continue to be watching. We really appreciate you guys. I see people liking, subscribing. I see people on Twitter always like promoting it and stuff. Thank you so much. If there's anything we could do better, I need you to spend a minute. Go on Twitter. Go in the DMs. I read every one. I reply to every single one. Let me know how I can do things better. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you didn't like. We're here trying to make it better. We have more guests coming, and of course, anytime my PTG brethren feel like sliding in through the back door, they are always welcome as they are. Thank you again, Dutch. It's always awesome to have you. And I guess we will end this, in good fashion. with one of your your outro that you have blessed us with, that I still think is one of the greatest things that you presented. I love it. It's so cool, and I appreciate everyone who happened to watch. And we'll see you guys next week.